This scary video captured an inhuman humanoid figure lurking over a human habitat, and it has been trending in the Spanish-speaking YouTube community. Taken in someone's backyard, you first see a pool with trees beyond. It looks as though the cameraman is searching for something in the foliage. He then turns to the roof of the home. The roof at first seems to be empty, but when the cameraman turns completely to the right, this terrifying figure is spotted. Its fleshy skin is a raw sunburnt pink, its limbs are somewhat elongated, its shoulders are hunchbacked, and its pinhead is on a neck that's uncannily long. The creepiest part of it is that the figure is looking right at him. It stays still for a second, its eyes glowing as it watches the unsuspecting cameraman, before leaping with cat-like reflexes over the other side of the roof and out of sight. If this footage is real, then I have no idea what this thing possibly was. Are you a social media influencer? The next time you're off in your own world, filming your next Twitter phenom, don't look over your shoulder. Posted to YouTube by BTS in May of 2019, this video will haunt you. The Twitter video begins like any other, with its star checking himself out in the camera, before taking some film of the passing city scene outside his car window. Looks just like a normal everyday video to brighten everyone's Twitter feed, but as many YouTubers pointed out in the comments of this video, some random shadow appears behind the star's left shoulder. What is this creeping shadow lingering just behind him? Is it something paranormal, or just a ghostly fan watching him? Judge for yourself. Either way, it's 100% frightening. With two Barbie dolls in her hands, this little girl is as happy as can be. Her family is recording what should be a loving memory for them to watch over and over again with glee. Instead, if any of them ever watch this video again, it will be in sheer horror. The girl is in the middle of an improvised skit when her father calls something out to her. I think he is telling her to come eat dinner or something like that. Based on what happens next, it looks like the girl wasn't the only one who was listening. As soon as the girl says something to the effect of "not right now," the Barbie snaps her head back and gives her a glare. Maybe the doll doesn't appreciate the disrespect towards her father, or maybe it's done being played with for right now. Either way, the girl throws both dolls into the air and runs away. Of course, this could be a fake video, but I'm not sure how you would make the doll's head turn like that. For one thing, the girl's hand isn't anywhere near the doll's head, and for another, you can see by looking at the doll's hair that no string has been tied around its head. Most people in the comments of this video think that it's real. Mr. Fairy is exploring the haunted PLKN building, a youth program in Malaysia that's said to be haunted ever since a mysterious case of mass food sickness led to the abandonment of the whole program. He's caught some creepy moments 17 minutes into the live stream when someone donates.
Allah Akbar, Allah Akbar, Allah Akbar, Allah Akbar, Allah Akbar, Allah Akbar, Allah Akbar.
His camera freezes and the image whitens as something passes by.
Allah Akbar. Ya Allah, subhanallah. Subhanallah, ya Allah. Allah Akbar, begini sini.
The only time his camera seems to freeze is when paranormal activity is happening in front of him.
Allah Akbar! Guys! Allah Akbar, apa benda tu? Ya Allah! Hey! Guys!
He runs into the room it was literally just in and the ghost is gone. There's no jump cut editing and this was on live stream, so the figure should have still been there if it was a person. He stands outside of the window to see if it will return.
Allah Akbar, Allah Akbar, Allah Akbar, subhanallah. Allah Akbar! Allah Akbar! Allah Akbar, Allah Akbar, Allah Akbar, wait! Allah Akbar! Wait, gila sial!
The figure is in the next room. Now is the chance for a paranormal encounter up close.
Wait! Ya Allah, Tuhanku. Mati aku.
By the time he gets back, he needs to lay down and think about what he just saw. Apparently being surrounded by that much paranormal energy has drained all of his. That's not sludge you're looking at. Published by Casey Spotlight, a creepy sludge-like creature was captured on film in the shallows of a lake. The figure looks squidgy, mushy, rubbery, and above all slimy. Its form seems malleable. Its movements is like an amoeba, altering its shape. It also appears to have a mouth, but one with no teeth and only grandma gums. Well, some in the comments say it's a leech. If that's the case, it's the biggest leech I've ever seen. What do you think it is? Any theories? This solo ghost hunt turned up some mysterious proofs, published by Macleod in February of 2022. The Ghost Hunter's scary video has the trifecta, mist, orbs, and voices. While walking along a dirt path at night in the forest, a strange mist moves in. It's the unusual shape and movement of the mist that makes it so eerie, like a spirit is swooping in. A round orb seems to be flying below it in tandem. The YouTuber says he didn't see it at the time he was filming.
I didn't see that at the time on the camera at all, but it does go by fast.
A second video filmed on the same night appears to have captured a disembodied voice. The voice murmurs, and this time the YouTuber hears it in the moment.
I have to look that back on the camera.
It does not sound like his voice, so whose is it? What do you make of this pair of videos? Looks like a successful ghost hunt requiring further investigation. Peel your eyes back for this one. Published by Kisa Weba in January of 2022. This scary video has been trending in the Spanish-speaking YouTube community. The video was shared with Kisa Weba by a subscriber who said he'd found the footage on Reddit. The original poster claimed to have crossed paths with this mud monster on the way home one day. The footage shows a creepy female mud-like creature sitting in the middle of a dirt road. The mysterious creature has long arms with a peculiar appendage, where the hand should be. The hand features long Gumby-like fingers that appear to contract as the cameraman walks toward her. The figure's back is also strangely indented. It looks as if parts of the figure are blurred out for discretion, but as the cameraman walks toward her, the other hand reaches over, revealing the same elongated fingers as the first. There also appears to be a trail several feet down the road, dragged by the figure, but it ends as if the creature dropped to the earth there from the middle of nowhere. What is this mud monster? And what exactly is she doing here? I guess we'll never know for sure. This incident shows that even streamers' homes can be haunted. Twitch streamer Justa Minx is chatting with her fellow influencers, Aviva Sophia and Nico Lull, when in the midst of discussion, the wheelchair in the corner behind her moves unexpectedly. Nico Lull is the first to notice, while Aviva Sophia confirms that she saw it move too. Justa Minx denies that it moved, but it was behind her, so she couldn't have seen it. A second clip reveals further proof that Justa Minx's home is haunted. As she's talking about TikTok with her followers, a distinct silhouette flashes into view on the right. This time she sees it out of the corner of her eye. She asks her viewers if they saw it too. Many in the comments think it's a black cat, but can a cat move a wheelchair? One strange happening is enough. Two is too much to explain away. This place needs signs saying "Do not enter." Published in May of 2022, Hassan Barbar is searching through an abandoned building when he sees this dark figure through a window. It looks like a djinn. The figure quickly moves out of view.
عم بشوف اشي او بشاهد اشي يا ريت اتمنى من الجميع يا اخوان الكل يبعت لي.
And when Hassan enters the room, he is gone. Hassan locks himself inside the now empty room, but it seems like something is still in the room with him. He spies something written on the wall. Is it a message from the djinn? He turns to look in this cupboard again, and the lights are again messed with, and that's not the only havoc in the room. As he looks around, he turns back to the overhanging lights, and suddenly there's a bucket covering one of them.
العظيم يا اخوان. طب وين قريش؟ وين قريش؟ بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. أعوذ بكلمات الله التامات.
When he reaches up to touch the light, it's almost like he's electrocuted. Something then obscures his camera. It's the bucket from the light. What is happening here? Hassan is not sure, but I suspect it's the jinn's handiwork. Afnan Arash is plagued by paranormal activity wherever he goes, and now not even his home offers respite from the constant hauntings. Even though we don't speak the same language, I can still feel the anger and desperation in his voice as he demands for the ghost to leave him be.
Tak habis. Mengganggu hidup aku. Hah? Mana?
Afnan stares in disbelief at the table of broken plates. It's hard to tell if he threw a rock or something to break the plates himself or if a poltergeist did it. The right half of the table is not on camera, which makes me suspicious because that's also probably his throwing arm. However, he sounds so genuinely terrified that I think this video is paranormal. Something strange happens every night in the room of a YouTuber named Sumi, and it happens at 3 a.m. The door looks fully shut with the latch in place, so that means somehow the door opens without the knob turning, and then continues to open with nobody on the other side. It's a lightweight door, but even if the house was built on a slope or something, I don't think it would open that easily. Plus, if this really does happen at 3 a.m., like Sumi claims, then there's just no question in my mind that A, their whole house is haunted, and B, it's time to install a law. A YouTuber from San Antonio, Texas, named Dylan James TV records a deep moan that fills the night sky. Take a listen and give me your best guess as to what this mysterious noise could be.
I hope you can hear that.
After a while, it grows closer and louder until the sound breaks directly overhead, yet nothing is visible. What's especially strange is the comments for this video. Other people from as far as Florida admittedly claim to have heard this exact same noise. Apparently it happens for 5 minutes at a time, at which point it stops as abruptly as it began. A YouTuber named Shavir Joffrey has been hearing loud knocks and other strange noises at night, so he decides to half-jokingly ghost search around his house for fun. Nothing happens until he starts talking about what he is going to do to the ghost when he catches it. Do you think this is paranormal or just a friend off camera?
You know, any ghost that comes in, game over, man. Did you hear that? Did you?
Okay, so that might not be enough to convince you, but as soon as they crack more jokes, they hear a slight scraping noise, kind of like somebody breathing through a straw, and this time it is right by them. I think there's another part that they might have missed. Do you hear someone take a breath here?
And we're like, I think.
A YouTuber named Connor Does Adventure goes exploring a sewer tunnel that's been abandoned in the middle of the desert. They're kind of nervous but also in the mood to see something crazy. Little do they know what horrors are about to get caught on camera. It's a long walk to get to the old pipe and they keep stopping because they think they hear something.
It's funny. Know why you're scaring us.
Oh my gosh, dude.
Okay, it's not funny.
That sounds like it could be a frog to me, but maybe not based on what they see next.
What? Dude.
Oh. Okay. We're on. We're on. You gotta go.
An extra creepy creature slowly stands upright in a strange pose that looks vaguely human.
Dude. Stupid. Why would you steal me? We gotta go. We gotta go.
It chases them for a while on all fours, then marches straight towards them.
Okay. Come on. He's coming. Dude, he's coming.
This is beyond creepy, but it's probably one of their friends in an outfit.
Do you think he can get past these gates right here? Oh yeah, dude, look, there's an entrance right there. That's how we... Oh shoot. Ready? Go! Oh my gosh!
After all, stopping a second time to turn around and record some more doesn't seem realistic. I think most people would be out of there and never look back. This isn't a gentle good morning. Published to YouTube by C4CAT in March of 2018. This is what happens when an early bird of a ghost is angry that you're not up yet. The video shows a man asleep in bed as window curtains nearly blow, at times pushing the entire curtain to the side. The young man at first remains undisturbed by this. At one point when the curtain is brushed over, you can see something white appear behind the bars of the window. Then an obscure flash of white passes close to the camera. Shortly after, there's a slow disturbance in the man's blanket. Part of it lifts until the entire blanket billows up. It's then ripped off of him by an unseen force. Like a bucket of cold water, this is one alarm clock you wouldn't want to wake up to. These two unidentified flying object sightings are eerily similar. Posted on Reddit by GamersGen. These two sightings from Miami and Beijing are comparative. The first appeared in Beijing on February 3rd, 1995. The unidentified flying object hovers as an illuminated yellow disc in the evening sky. After a while, it starts to glide slowly overhead. GamersGen posts a second video in the comments, one which looks similar to the first but was captured on October 20th, 1995. This unidentified flying object was spotted along a freeway. The driver pulled over to capture it hovering near an apartment complex and then over Miami Airport. GamersGen suggests that today, unidentified flying objects aren't seen as often for a reason. His theory? They have become more cautious, and further said, they seem to be extremely aware of us observing them, and above all, they don't want to be compromised. What do you think? It makes sense to me, and these two sightings are certainly quite similar. Think you have creepy neighbors? Think again. Posted to the WTF subreddit, Protomancer writes, just someone slithering through my neighbor's yard in the middle of the night. That description about sums this clip up, but let's take a look at the Nest camera footage. A stranger is seen lying on its stomach on the ground outside this person's home. After a moment, he starts moving in what is well described as a slither. He could actually be crawling, with the camera distorting the movements into something even creepier. Not that army crawling across your neighbor's yard is normal at all. Well, some Redditors think the dude is just playing night crawlers. Others think the guy is on something. One Redditor, however, shares another possible theory from first-hand experience. Chordophonic writes, quite a few years ago I had something similar happen, though I was several lawns away. The dude finally stopped on my lawn and we called 911 because he'd been caught with some other dude's wife, and it turns out her husband put a round in this guy. I kind of hope it's one of the first two scenarios here. This home inspector wasn't expecting to find this, published by Cleveland Marco in July of 2011. The inspector is at this residence and explains that a former resident is said to have passed away in her sleep there and that her ghost remains. As he's explaining that the ghost is said to enjoy walking around and opening doors in the home. A door opposite slams open by itself. This surprises them all.
And she likes to open doors. And she says, well, they say that Door's open by itself.
They try it again. The inspector opens a door, and as he does, the door across the room opens as well.
All right, let's do this again. All right. Here it goes. Open the door.
Let's find a way.
No.
This happens 3 times. While some are saying it's the air pressure in the room, others are keener on the ghost story. I definitely think something mysterious is going on in this house. You're bound to come across strange things in the middle of nowhere. Published in October of 2019, the cameraman sets out into the forest on the outskirts of the city of Perm, and what he finds is that it's occupied. He eventually arrives at this strange structure, plastic sheets topped by wooden planks. When he removes one of the sheets, you see that it leads into an underground hovel of some sort. Deeper into the forest, he encounters another strange structure. This one again is made up of plastic and tarps, but it's been built above ground between 2 trees. There's a pair of jeans hanging on a limb, a plastic bag hanging from another, and a whole pile of garbage scattered on the ground. He peers inside to find someone sleeping in the shelter. He hurries away but comes across one last structure in his journey. When he peeks in, you can tell that someone lives inside this one too, but there's no one home at this time. One side is covered in branches to camouflage the structure, while items are hung on a line to dry. Obviously, it looks like a small community of people live in this forest, and I'm not sure how friendly they're gonna be to this guy popping in to say hi. Isn't it awful when the paranormal ruins your 15-minute break? Published by LD Praja in October of 2018. Mysterious activity in a factory in Sukabumi, Indonesia, had one worker running for the hills. The video shows a young man preparing something in the break room. Behind him, a piece of clothing hanging on a cabinet door starts moving on its own. He must have caught it out of the corner of his eye, because he looks over for a moment, but by that time it's still. Next, the chair behind him starts inching backward and around. The clothing starts moving again as well, but the guy doesn't notice. That is, until the chair is thrown backward and clatters on the ground. The man runs off, never to return again. If you're going to cage a phantom, you're going to need a bigger door. Hosted by Wokayahoga, this footage shows you can't keep a ghost locked up. The hunters are holding an EMF meter toward a locked set of doors. After a moment, something pounds against the door and then rattles it, trying to get out. I'm not sure what the context of this video is, but one thing's certain, whatever's inside is not staying there. Uncanny videos without explanations are often creepy in their own right, but this one takes it to a whole new level. Posted to YouTube by Gugun Reaper in October of 2016. The video is titled, "What Are You Thinking?" Deep Web Video. Soon it will have you asking yourself that very question. The clip shows someone in a black trash bag with a white cloth tied over his head. The thing coughs a few times, looking super sad and terribly creepy. At one point it lifts its hands to its mouth, and suddenly its mouth is flooded red. It's unclear what is happening. Is this thing coughing up red liquid? Fernando Costa suggests in the comments. He was starting to hick it all up slowly, then blam, bile and everything all finally came up. In the end, the thing holds a piece of paper with writing on it. You can see through the paper. And though he's holding it upside down, it reads, "What are you thinking after watching this video? All it's doing for me is creeping me out." This isn't something you see every day. Posted to TikTok by Canada Wildlife, this trail cam captured a bear sighting in the wild. It shows one large black bear chasing another. They both shimmy their way up a tree with ease, until the one being chased switches around to defend himself. All he needed to do was have the higher ground for the other to back down. Aside from the incredible speed of these two bears, their chatter with each other is surprising to most. While many in the comments are saying they guess they won't climb a tree to escape a bear, TikToker Patricia McWeenie writes, "I would have expected some growling, not whatever that was. Fair enough, I don't think any of us expected this." Don't invite a witch to your birthday party. They aren't the best gift givers. Published by Scary Girl in June of 2020. This CCTV footage is about to give you chills. The residents of this home had been finding strange things outside on their front steps, delivered to them in the middle of the night, including lifeless animals. Could it be a cat leaving presents? The residents installed security cameras, and in March of 2015 at around 3 in the morning, these cameras captured a figure hobbling toward their front steps from a distance. The figure looked like an old woman in a dress. The woman bends down and places the object on the front steps and then hurries away. Another camera captures her walking off. Why did this witch leave a headless crow for the family? Submitted to the Chills Narrator subreddit by SufficientFly3271. This Redditor wrote, "Can you feature this in one of your videos? My name is Brittany Keel. I live in Richmond, Vermont, and I hear these noises almost every night/morning. Finally got it on video, always around 2:30 in the morning. Let's watch their submission and see what they're talking about." There was certainly some debate about this video in the comments. Anarchy881 writes, "Dogman maybe?" While Dusty Stories wrote, "Don't know what we're supposed to be hearing besides tree frogs and birds, but whatever it was, my dog was very interested in what it was saying. Which side are you on here? Let me know in the comments." With her camera recording, a girl kneels before a darkened doorway and challenges a spirit to touch her. A light passes over the room and her hair is brushed over her shoulder as if someone is passing through. I find this video hard to believe because that definitely looks like a flashlight coming from the other room, based on the way it hits the wall beside her in a concentrated circular beam. With that said, it still doesn't explain how her hair moved with no one nearby. Let me know if this effect is possible to do in Photoshop, or whether or not you think this is real. If it is real, then I have no idea why she would want to summon something so powerful in her own home. The Vancouver Paranormal Society investigates a house whose owner has been complaining of strange activity during late hours. They gather in the living room and decide to address the spirit outright. You can hear 2 taps after they try and get its attention.
I'm going to ask you a series of questions.
They next explain the rules of communication and get no response.
Give me a knock for yes or 2 knocks for no.
That means it actually tapped twice to signify no. When they said they were going to ask it a series of questions, not only did it respond, but it somehow knew what it was going to be asked before they even said the question. As if that wasn't weird enough, as soon as they ask the spirit if it used to live here, they get a visual disturbance in front of the pillow that's in the woman's lap.
Did you used to live here?
Somehow the team misses all of these signs and declares the house to be uninhabited by spirits. After watching these instances, however, I beg to differ. In the woods near Crybaby Bridge, this paranormal crew asks the spirit if he likes their company, and the spirit answers. Published by Hauntings of Ohio in February of 2020, this scary paranormal communication was captured on video. The video shows the crew communicating through a spirit box. After posting the video, this is the answer they receive.
Do you like her company? What the?
The guys say this is one of the clearest and most demonic voices they've ever caught on camera. Terrifying though it is, at least the answer was yes.
Do you like her company? What the? Dude! That was crystal clear, dude. Yes.
This is one for the books. Published by ABCD in April of 2009, this phantom was reportedly captured in Bangalore. The scary clip shows a semi-transparent woman emerging from a wall. With long dark hair and dressed in white, the apparition glides across the floor, traveling straight through all objects around her, including a gate, before disappearing out of frame. What do you think of this full-bodied apparition? I'm just gonna put it out there. It's one of the realest looking ghosts I've ever seen. A ghost hunter named Safad Bebley Brox is at the Hill House Manor in Gainesville, Texas. When they get activity on their equipment, the rules of communication are 1 blink for yes and 2 blinks for no, but this spirit presses no many times over when asked if it is an older man.
Are you the male that just came back in here?
No, it's a little girl.
His partner thinks it must be one of the 2 children spirits known to roam this floor, and when they ask if it wants to play, first he uses the equipment to say no, and then he uses its actual voice. It even answers like a child, waiting until the adult says no before repeating him in a small sad voice.
Are you the little girl who's like to play jets? Can you say yes or no?
Balls?
No.
Judging by how she is in no mood to play, I'd say something bad must have happened to them, something that's keeping them trapped with no release forever. A CCTV gym camera captures this slow-moving white object at 6 in the morning. The strange shape appears to float in midair and even slightly changes form at times. Paranormal or not, experts have been ultimately unable to determine the source of this fluttering figure. I guess it might be a piece of lint or something that got stuck on the lens of the camera, but the way it slowly sways without going anywhere makes me think that this really could be a classic haunting. A YouTuber called Wet Tent catches a poltergeist in action in his home. As evidenced by this slamming door, he shows that there is nobody on the other side, and then waits for it to happen again. It's creepy until you see his window is open, so it could be a breeze. And here at 13 seconds, you can see a tag on his covers move in the wind. I just wanted to show this video because I think that it could help explain other videos with slamming doors. Still, I would not totally discount this video. Wet Tent should make a new one with the window closed and see if it still happens. With a name like Witch's Tower, you know this place is bound to brew up some terror. Published by YouTuber Mo Sargi in May of 2011, the adventurer takes on a return trip to the tower. Mo previously visited and experienced paranormal activity here and chose to go back. Mo says that rituals were done up in the tower of this historic building, so that's where he goes. As he's upstairs in the tower with the lights off, something downstairs clatters.
Felt one window open, not sure why that's open, but... What is that? Hello?
He turns his camera light back on and asks, hello, but is only greeted by more clattering. A much louder and closer bang scares him out of the room and down the stairs where the other crew members have been the whole time.
Hello? Guys?
The crew returns upstairs and to the tower to investigate. While there, a door closes right at the base of the tower stairs, launching Mo across the room again. Up in the tower, they find pennies piled on a ledge and realize that was the clattering that Mo initially heard dropping from the tower. Sure enough, there are pennies on the staircase below. When they are checking out the small area under the stairs, where a load of bees are piled, another bang is heard in the other room.
The dead bees were... Whoa!
They find nothing but another pile of flies and beetles on a windowsill. Another creepy discovery is an old Motorola phone which Mo finds on the top shelf of a closet. The three then hear something break downstairs.
We can find down here. Omar's in that bedroom over there.
And it turns out to be a broken mirror in the hallway. As Mo looks around the bottom floor for whoever caused the glass to break, he sees something or someone pass by.
There's something about the sun in there.
He tells the others that someone was walking there. After the door to the tower slams shut again, the trio are waiting and listening for something downstairs when the old Motorola starts ringing.
What the phone? Oh my phone is ringing.
They go to pick up the phone from the floor and it appears to be off. They note the strange lines drawn on it, like some sort of symbology, and they throw the phone into a closet and shut the door. Heading back downstairs, they again hear something crash upstairs. When Mo goes to investigate, he finds the phone on the first floor landing. The last bit brings forth a lot of questions. How did this phone arrive here? What do the symbols mean? How is it ringing but not powered on? And most importantly, who is on the other end? If mysterious creatures with tails make you nervous, then strap in for this video posted to Reddit by Scentless Grape. The video shows horsehair worms leaving their host. Horsehair worms are parasites that usually range from 2 to 3.9 inches long and are often found in bodies of water and other damp areas. Only the larvae are parasitic on beetles, cockroaches, and other insects. In this case, what appears to be a praying mantis. Watching something that is 100% real and insanely disturbing is enough to make anyone nervous. Can you handle this horror you can't ever unsee? Nah. Neither can I. A lot of scary ghost sightings involve a doorway or a window. They always seem to be haunting a passageway leading into the house. At 31 seconds, a pale apparition leans in to peek through the doorway of this building. Then the mysterious figure is gone, disappeared. I couldn't find anything to explain what was moving in the door. The ghost hunter later explains. After doing some more research, he says this haunted place is home to voices of children laughing and playing, stories that further creep him out. This building was a funeral home before the haunted place was abandoned. The cameraman is too scared to get near the haunted place, let alone go exploring, but a possible long-distance ghost sighting leaves him freaked out. I agree, there is something in the doorway. Whether it's a ghost or not is hard to say from here, but something is there and that's pretty weird. A man from Sri Lanka incites panic in the sky when he announces that he is going to take himself out, along with everyone else on the plane. The pilot makes an emergency landing in Melbourne, Australia, where a special police unit boards the flight. It looks like they are going to grab this man's ankles to forcibly remove him, but they reach past him to retrieve a mysterious black bag left behind by the person responsible, who has already been taken into custody. The man was threatening everyone with a device, which later turns out to be nothing more than a large Bluetooth speaker. The man was eventually taken to a mental health facility. It's worth mentioning that this was the same Malaysia airline that had a plane go missing over the Ukraine years ago, so they really were not taking any chances this time. Built around 1635, the Pidhertsi Castle is said to be one of the most haunted places in Ukraine. Take a look at some of the best paranormal evidence ever taken out of the creepy castle.
Andriana! Andriana!
A ghostly figure appears in the window and waves at them before mysteriously disappearing. It's not a reflection of clouds because of how quick it fades in and out. The person filming calls out the name Adriana, who I think was the name of one of the king's many wives hundreds of years ago, and whose life was possibly taken by him. Or it's just good editing. Hard to say. This place is said to be absolutely flooded with supernatural forces, so who knows? This strange sky sighting was caught on camera flying over Bavaria, Germany in broad daylight. I noticed some weird things about the audio, but first, try and translate this mysterious conversation from German to English if you can.
Nein, das ist...
I know that 9 means no, but I don't understand what was being asked. Anyway, aside from that, listen again to the weird noise that the object itself makes.
Nein, das ist...
I guess it kind of looks like it could be a jet plane, but the wings are too big and it really doesn't sound like one. Tell me if you think this was an experimental aircraft caught on tape, or a strange sky sighting of something from another solar system. This is not a drone caught on video, but at the same time I'm curious as to what this actually is. This old house is allegedly haunted by the angry spirit of a previous inhabitant. Watch what happens in the dark basement shortly after a ghost hunter named Lylil Show sets up a camera and leaves. As soon as the lights turn off and the door shuts, an abnormal amount of orbs dance all around the camera, which then tips over. I think this is more than a coincidence because it happens within 5 seconds of his exit. Something down there obviously doesn't want to be filmed. The angry spirit resists all attempts to communicate. Here it swats an electrometer used to detect paranormal disturbances in the air. Between this and the camera falling over, I think the spirit wants to be left alone, and I think it's probably best to respect its privacy before it gets any more insistent. YouTuber Memoria Sobrenatural INC believes they were guided to this location by something paranormal, and maybe that's true, but it doesn't seem to want to let him in.
Opa! Cara, que é isso, mano? Cara, que é isso?
At first, it seems like something might just be pushed up against the door blocking it, but then you see movement. Watch the crack in the doorway.
Olha isso, cara. Dá uma olhada.
Whatever's inside doesn't seem human.
Cara, você é louco? Eu juro que eu achei que eu tinha visto o demônio aqui agora, na hora que eu fui abrir a porta. Cara, meu coração foi a mil aqui, ó. Bom, pessoal, eu acho...
Phew, it's just a bull. Or is it? I think this horned beast is more demon than it appears. These guys are trying to communicate with a spirit at their clinic office, specifically Jen. To determine who they're talking to, they use flashlights.
We're gonna say... Oh, I think it's cool with that. We're gonna say the alphabet. And whichever one your name is, can you please turn off the flashlight on that letter, okay?
When they arrive at J,
H I J
Jen.
Yeah, it's Jen, I think, or something code to Jen. It has to.
but another flashlight is directed by a second spirit.
Another one, right? That's a different spirit. Okay. K L M N
And then...
Nathaniel. Well,
Okay.
They're trying to figure out which of the spirits wrote the note or were somehow connected to it.
If you're not connected to it, turn off your flashlight. Nathaniel's not connected to it.
so Jen is.
So Jen is.
I knew it.
And finally, they ask Jen,
Jen, were you the one that wrote the note? Oh. Wait, but she's connected to it, so she
Do
didn't
you know
write.
who wrote the note? Were you here when they wrote the note?
although the Redditor doesn't explain in the comments what note he's asking the spirits about. According to him, Nathaniel once scratched him. I'm really not sure if he should be keeping the lines of communication open with an entity this aggressive. The Basset Arms Pub In Barrytown, Wales is another famously haunted watering hole in the UK. All sorts of strange sightings occur here on the regular, but this one is probably the most convincing.
Look at
that. It's getting more prominent.
It almost looks as though an apparition is literally leaning out of the wall and reaching forward. Tell me if you can see its head, shoulders, and arms when I pause the video at the 7-second mark. Then again, I guess this alleged ghost could have been nothing more than a spider web dangling in front of the camera. I wish they would have gone to the camera and checked for any webs or long strings of dust nearby to confirm this possibility. It's the only alternative explanation I have to the paranormal. Unfortunately, we will never know for sure. A YouTuber named Godiva calls this a bizarre sighting caught on camera, and he's definitely right. The slow-moving shadow figure grows larger as it extends over this house. It's all caught on their home CCTV system, and it's a creepy moment for sure, but tell me if it's a formless shadow person or some sort of insect. A man records his pet cat studying its reflection in a mirror for the very first time. The animal is fascinated, and over again, it tests the reflection by cautiously putting one paw in front of the other, almost as if it doesn't completely trust what it is seeing. Now satisfied that this mirror image is no threat, the cat settles down and looks behind for one moment, but as it turns out, its initial instincts were right all along. If you didn't catch it, the cat's reflection does not match the cat's own movements. So what do you think? Was this special effects or a once-in-a-lifetime moment caught on video? I'm convinced that house is haunted, since it looks too realistic to be done by amateur video editing. This New Orleans restaurant called Tableau's is thought to be haunted by a ghost who will punish you for what it perceives as any bad beverage selections. Here a waiter is preparing the room for a private party and has finished stocking the refreshments when, coincidentally, the bottles all fly off the shelf and land in the exact area he had just finished sweeping. 3 separate comments in this video further verify that this restaurant is quite haunted. One person said the window in this very same room unlatched itself, another said the fire alarm went off on its own, and a third person said they are never going there again because the spirit was staring at them. These comments, combined with this video evidence, is enough to build a strong case for the paranormal in my opinion, but let me know what you think. A YouTuber named DachiYT is standing at the edge of an underground tunnel when something completely unexpected comes up running to him. The real question is whether this is a friend playing a joke, or if this is a creature that was once human. The noise it makes sounds like someone struggling to make a sentence, so maybe this person has lost their minds or is even under the effects of a possession. The small steps it takes are creepy, and it's hard to tell if he's doing them involuntarily or on purpose. Lastly, its eyes glow in the dark despite a lack of light. I want to believe it's fake, but I think the glowing red eyes indicate otherwise. Anyone who's ever pulled a prank knows that it can quickly go too far. No one more so than YouTuber FaZe Rug. In a prank video posted in December of 2017, FaZe Rug writes, "Today I decided to do the scariest prank I've ever done, and we took it a little too far. She ended up crying, but the prank was a success." What was that? Just how scary was this prank? Well, imagine chatting and watching TV with your cousins when you hear a knock on your second floor balcony window. Ryan had climbed a ladder to the roof in order to pull off this prank, and it proved successful as his targets jumped in fear at the noise. But that wasn't the end of it. Ryan next shakes the handle of the balcony door in a frenzy, causing the trio to race from the room. What is that? He hops to another balcony, slamming on the door as well. Nu, the girl being pranked, then calls Ryan, asking where he is, and telling him there's someone outside the home.
Ryan, stop!
Ryan claims to be getting food, and seemingly happy that he made Nu so distressed. He tells her they're on their way, donning a freaky mask.
Ryan?
What?
Ryan, where are you? Where are you?
We're getting food, why?
Ryan knocks on the window one last time before hopping to the opposite balcony and bursting through the door that they had previously unlocked. Seeing the masked intruder reveal that he's actually their cousin, the boys laugh the prank off, but Nu looks clearly pretty upset about it. Would you be able to find this funny? Or would the stoking of your fear and adrenaline go too far? Nothing good happens at 3 a.m. This TikTok posted by Diego Speckers is yet another example of that. Just watch. Wow, that's pure nightmare fuel. What was that child doing there, amongst the hanging laundry? Its black inky eyes are a real giveaway. This thing's a demon. As the person backs off, you see it again for a split second in the gap. But there's nothing below for this thing to stand on. Don't know about you, but I think this is the real deal. Definitely a demon. Another reason to leave 3 a.m. to the owls. The last thing you want to find in a toilet stall is a viewing gallery. That's what Redditor Chopper Ian discovered in a ladies' cubicle at a UK pub in Hampshire. Posted to the casual UK subreddit, the Redditor asks, "What is the point of this?" The video shows a small sliding door between the toilet stalls, with latches on either side to lock it. But why would it need to be unlocked in the first place? And why is it there at all? The Redditor notes that this was a nice country pub. Some suggest it's used to confess your sins, others to hold hands. Many in the comments refer to the Seinfeld episode, in which Elaine realizes she's run out of toilet paper, and asks the neighboring stall to spare a square. And actually, that seems to be the consensus among Redditors in the thread for the utility of this sliding door. What do you think it's for? While communicating with lost souls in the Witch's Mirror, YouTube team Toppy's session gets dark. Nastia explains where the mirror comes from.
Данное зеркало принадлежало моей покойной прабабушке. Прабабушка славилась тем, что она была
And she begins the ritual. It sounds like something wants out of the mirror. And a shadow falls on the wall beside Nastia. The whole team comes, and through a spirit box, they ask if someone is there.
Я включаю спиритбокс. С нами кто-нибудь сейчас здесь есть?
After communicating with the spirits for a time, they leave a still camera in front of the mirror, and this is what they capture. What is this strange dark haze? Is it the spirit? I think it is. If I had to guess, I'd say this witch's mirror is a portal to the afterlife, one that shouldn't be tampered with. A woman is practicing a presentation while her friend films, but they both become distracted by the poltergeist in the room. TikToker Real Scary Video shares this footage.
1, 2, 3, go. Okay na? Now that I have introduced myself to the patient, verify the client's... Now that I have introduced myself to the patient, explain the procedure.
First, the light flickers.
Verify the client's identity and provide...
Ano ito?
Sige pa rin, sige na.
Then something disturbs the closet.
Now that I have introduced myself to the patient...
Well, we can't see what made the noise. I'm pretty sure whatever it was lost its patience. Talk about a non-supportive ghost.
Ano ito?
Sige pa rin, sige na. 1, 2, 3, go. now that I have introduced myself to the patient,
This is not your average hanger-on while hanging in this creepy forest. Note in the first video, this is a 5-man crew.
And they do it, but with the thing, you know, not already on your way.
And yet, in the second video, a 6th person is lurking in the background, and he's acting very creepy.
Figure hurting money to look him.
What is that dude doing back there? Is he part of the group, or do they even realize that he's there? Even if he is a member of the crew, I'd say they should keep an eye on him. His behavior seems a little bizarre, to say the least. This poltergeist is about to throw down. Redditor What I Imagine shares this video of a very aggressive ghost. Due to the poltergeist's aggression, I'm convinced that this isn't staged. How can anything but the paranormal act unseen with such aggression? Many in the comments think this video was staged with fishing line. I don't know though. It looks pretty compelling to me. An unidentified aerial phenomena, also known as a UAP, was captured at Dreamland in Dripping Springs, Texas, and shared by Redditor My Brian on Acid.
You doing it? Recording the alien spaceship? You need to. It's like not moving at all.
The uploader says another source reported on this same sighting.
And it's like way higher than the planes that just flew by. It's like further away. It's not moving at all.
Well, let's see if it's up there after we play.
The post the Redditor is referring to was captured by someone walking their dog who believed the UAP to be a planet, but once they looked at it through their binoculars, they noticed a dark center and a haze around the object. In the comments, Redditor Cronin Siglos appeared to crack the code, writing that it's a high-altitude balloon called an HBAL 604. After seeing one of these, I have to agree.
And it's like way higher than the planes that just flew by. It's like further away. It's not moving at all.
At the Devil's Gate Dam, Kelsey Davies and her crew communicated with the ghost of a twisted individual who took many lives. As soon as they set up their devices, they start to get a reading.
Here. There's such a boob, I'm sorry. I love how we both moved back. Like, it turned green. I know.
Then, shortly after, they come into contact with Val.
Are you here with us? Can you cross the dowsing rods into your pier?
They ask if she's near.
Seen the REM pod go off? Yeah.
Later, they come across a lot of strange debris.
Is that a wallet? What? What is all this? Someone's backpack? Their comb? Oh no, this is a lunchbox.
Does this stuff belong to those who lost their lives at the hands of Val? They return late at night and confirm Val's presence.
Val, is that you?
And they are given a warning.
Oh my Oh my god. Oh my right, it starts leave. You said welcome to That flashed and it said leave, Joey. I have the chills.
I may be old school, but if the ghost of a life taker tells you to leave, I really think you should listen. Alyssa the Explorer rents a cabin in the woods, one that apparently has an extra guest inside.
This place is so cool, isn't it? Yeah. What the somebody in there with you?
Something scary passes by, a ghost in the window behind her, or perhaps some kind of hunched over figure in robes. I really hope this is computer effects, because if not, she needs to climb out that window fast.
I'm so startled right now. I think I may have stumbled across.
While alone in the woods, a YouTuber named Christina Roberts sets her sights on two mysterious creatures she has never seen before. They look to be covered in fur and appear to walk upright as they spread out to cover more ground. At 30 seconds, one turns to reveal a broad, hairy back and may even be carrying one of its offspring. The two creatures are caught on Christina's camera, but they don't detect her because she is wearing camouflage and quietly whispering to herself out of view. They sit down in a clearing and she uses the opportunity to sneak away. I personally think creatures look to be about normal size and could just be people in gorilla suits. Hundreds of people have left comments agreeing that this is one of the scariest forest creature videos they've ever seen. So I guess I could be wrong. Tell me what you see. A YouTuber named This Is Dan Bell has made a name for himself by exploring some of the creepiest abandoned places on Earth. This time he is seeing what he can find at an abandoned house outside of Baltimore City, the former home of the notorious Stephen Craig Johnson to be exact. In 1983, Stephen Craig Johnson brutally ended the life of his child in a fit of delusional rage. The case grew famous all up and down the entire East Coast, and it doesn't look like anyone has lived in the house ever since. As Dan Bell travels deeper inside, you can feel the sadness and despair clinging to every room. Amidst the discarded debris and wreckage, Dan Bell finds a weird handwritten letter in the closet with illustrations of a woman on the front and back. There's a brief paragraph talking about how evil the house is and what can be done to stop it. Some of the handwriting is kind of hard to read, so if anyone wants to type this letter out, I would appreciate it. Two things seem kind of sketchy about this letter to me though. First of all, the ink does not look faded enough to be something from the 80s, and the paper does not seem very aged either. I don't think it was penned by anyone in the Johnson family, so maybe someone else snuck inside and placed it here in recent years. Dan Bell is understandably nervous at this point, but he has come this far and there's still an entire second floor left to explore. He eventually finds himself in a stale attic covered with scattered documents and heaps of trash. He's just about to leave when he makes eye contact with something that has been watching him all along. A vulture, the devourer of fallen animals, silently regards him from the floor. Its gaze is calm and expectant, almost prideful in a way. If this really is a wild animal and not staged, then it is almost certainly a bad omen for sure. A YouTuber named Jack Wagon has many videos demonstrating his apparent ability to manipulate objects using nothing but his own energy force. Here he circles his hands over a lock while concentrating deeply. It isn't long before he gets results. Not only is Jack able to push the lock over without touching, he is also somehow able to keep it balanced at a weird angle for almost 10 full seconds before falling. The only explanation I have for this is if there was some kind of magnet underneath the table, which I guess is possible. Next, Jack takes a steel fork in both hands and envisions the utensil becoming soft like butter. He ties the fork in a knot with his bare hands in a few simple twists. I'm honestly not sure how hard this really is to do, but it sure looks difficult to me. I'd really like for someone to tell me if this is a real display of energy manipulation or just some kind of trick. Two friends are riding down the Kerala Highway in India when they see what they later agree has to have been a ghost of some kind. The figure is dressed in pure white and holding something, maybe a flashlight. Creepiest of all is how they seem to be deeply staring into the darkness at something. They are in such a deep state of concentration that they don't even look up when the car zooms by just a few feet away. They remain frozen in place and seem to be holding their face in surprise. If this is a ghost, then they could have been looking at the roadside remains of their own body. A YouTuber named Monster Mike Fishing may have landed his biggest catch yet, and it's nowhere near the ocean. His friend Jacob plugs the pipe so that their target can't escape, but now he has to reach into the murky waters to pull it out by hand. As soon as he announces that he's okay, this happens.
Are you okay? I'm okay. Guys, no! Oh my god!
At 6 minutes and 12 seconds, the snake opens its mouth, and Jacob is barely able to hang on with one hand. He almost drops it and then quickly catches it again before it has a chance to attack. Now Jacob grapples with the snake and they wrestle to a stalemate. He can't hold this position much longer and calls to his friends.
I need help!
Only when he is pulled out of the sewer do they realize how massive this reptile really is and how much danger he was truly in and how risky this truly was. This woman claims that she would go to bed at night only to be woken up by strange noises and left with the unshakable feeling that she was not alone. When she sets up a camera to record some evidence, she finds this bizarre footage the next day. Imagine watching yourself trying to sleep while this figure haunts your dreams. At one point, the supposed phantom appears to be lunging at her. She says that she believes she was still awake during this point and remembers seeing nothing. Only when the contrast on the video was enhanced did anything become visible. This footage comes from India, where a woman is seen cleaning up at a sink. Suddenly, a dark figure appears behind her and gives her a hard shove from behind. She turns around only to find the room empty and hurries away. Jay Duncan is at home with his wife and daughter. When he looks out his door and sees a total stranger in rough shape, the man is having a fast-paced conversation with no one but himself, and he can't hold still for a single second.
He's just out there, man. He just won't go away.
When he finally notices Jay a full minute later, his first move is to immediately try the door. I can only imagine what this intruder would have done next had he gotten inside. Instead, he throws his hands up in exasperation, as if they have no right to keep their front door locked. He barks a series of threats and demands to be let in. I think he basically says he's through playing games with them, whatever that means. They snicker at him through the door until he gives up and gets into a relatively upscale truck to leave. Obviously, if he has a truck, then he also has a warm place to stay, which makes me wonder why he wanted to get into Jay Duncan's home to begin with. I think that maybe this person might have been out of their mind and thought they were outside of their own home. If so, I really hope they don't come back when Jay Duncan is asleep at night and try the same again. If you have a fear of heights, you might want to step away slowly from the edge of this video. El Camino del Rey, or the King's Little Path, is a high walkway in Spain that traverses a narrow gorge in El Charro near Malaga. Originally built to allow workers at a nearby hydroelectric power plant to transport materials, the walkway was first constructed at the turn of the 20th century. 3 feet in width and 330 feet above the river below, the walkway twists and turns around the steep walls of the gorge in a way that will make your head spin. It has been partially closed for more than 10 years after it fell into disrepair. In fact, it was once called the world's most dangerous walkway, as 5 passings occurred. Across only 2 years, renovations allowed the walkway to be reopened in 2015. Going back to the original, by 2006 much of the path had deteriorated. Several sections of the original concrete had completely collapsed, leaving large open gaps only traversable by the steel beams. The handrails were pretty much non-existent, with only a safety wire in its steed. Regardless, Daredevil still walked the King's Path, and passings occurred regularly. Published in March of 2011 by AM, this video shows what it was like to walk the King's Path when it was in disrepair. The crumbling concrete stairs are guarded only by a short length of handrail. As the hiker makes his way upward, you can see the drop below is no joke. A single misplaced step can throw you hundreds of feet to your demise. Despite the risk, you can see why people put themselves in harm's way. The solitude surrounded by the glittering river below and the jagged rocks of the gorge is an experience worth having, not to mention the adrenaline rush of being a misstep away from passing on. Still, if your heart is pounding just by watching this video, I wouldn't recommend it. I certainly wouldn't do it either. Well, inside this haunted house, these ghost hunters are lured into the forest. Published by Lomar Mendez in October of 2021, the pair consider whether or not something is in the house with them, and as they explore the house, they hear something.
That was probably creaking.
Their camera's light appears to be malfunctioning, and soon they become positive that someone else is here.
Someone's here.
As they wait in fear, they hear a strange noise from the next room, and then they see the figure. They take this as their cue to leave. While they do escape the house without incident, they're being followed, but the big reveal is yet to come. Well, this is a pretty messed up thing for a dad to do. These two should look on the bright side. This could have ended so much worse. There are mysterious happenings that can be explained, and others to which there is no answer. Guess which one this mystery is. Posted to the Chills Narrator subreddit by EBB Puzzleheaded, and originally published to YouTube by Daniel Robb. In May of 2020, these screams in the Texan night sky are sure to set your hair on end. In the clip, the uploader explains that there's a sound in the distance, screaming that seems to be coming from the sky, and you can regularly hear the eerie screech off and on for nearly 8 minutes.
What is that bizarre sound?
The uploader Daniel Robb says this happened between 8:30 and 9:30 p.m. and that it sounded like a banshee, followed by several voices whooping. He says the sound filled the entire night sky. Others in the comments agree that it's demonic or banshee-esque, citing the end of times. Redditor I Have No Purpose in Life notes that the screams occur alongside the lightning strikes and wonders if they might be interconnected. I guess we may never know the actual answer. A person in Ukraine was filming a calm river one evening just in time to capture a humanoid-looking creature cross underneath of a bridge using all fours. As the footage shows, something is grabbing onto the underside of a bridge and silently making its way across. Exactly what the creature is remains a debate online to this day. Some people have pointed out that this could be a human, but others have noticed how its legs and arms appear to be the exact same length. It almost looks like it could be an animal, but I'm not aware of any animal from this region that likes to hang upside down from bridges. Besides, if someone had to go underneath a bridge like that for whatever reason, then they would either hang from their arms or else hug the bridge tightly while creeping across. This thing, on the other hand, just swings across the bottom like it's no big deal. Human or not, this thing definitely has a very bizarre center of gravity as it moves. When you head into the middle of nowhere in search of a cave, you certainly aren't looking to meet strangers. YouTuber Lil Goofy says that whenever he goes to this place, nobody is there. Not this time. He published this video of the incident in July of 2019 writing, I brought a friend to see a rare cave in our local mountains that hardly anyone goes to. On our way up through a trail that leads to the caves, a stranger came out and waves at us. Then he pulled out what looked to be a big blade, so me and my friend ran since we didn't have any protection nor cell phones. In the video, the stranger is pointed out at a distance. He's dressed in black, and the YouTuber notes that his hands are behind his back. When the pair realize that the man has a blade, they hightail it out of there as fast as they can. As they slow to a stop, realizing they both left their phones in the car, the stranger rounds the corner, and they run off again, taking a left fork in the trail and wondering if the stranger knows the trail better than they do. After a while, they watch for their pursuer and catch him on video running up the trail. Finally, they make it back to their car in one piece. What were this man's intentions? Evil or not, this looked like it wouldn't have ended well. In a frightening Twitter thread, Gregory88 shares a frankly freaky series of posts about an experience in the woods, including a video that has Twitter more than a bit concerned. Greg's thread begins on November 30th, 2018, where he claims to have seen something in the woods. He tweets, even though it might not be super safe to be out alone in the woods, it still feels better than being home all the time. He continues writing that he was walking in some woods that would be pretty if they didn't feel so creepy. Just when he was starting to feel at ease, he came across something strange in a clearing, but he only made it about 30 feet before he ran into something much creepier. He posts a picture of what he found. It appears to be an animal skull of some kind, mounted on a rock within a blackened triangle. Other smaller rocks are placed around the triangle, and on the skull in some sort of ritualistic looking design. Greg writes that he discovered something new in the wilderness every day, but he isn't nearer to comprehending what's going on. He said he felt dizzy as he headed away from the rock towards his home, but again he didn't make it far before he ran into yet another fright. A hooded woman dressed in black hovering at a distance on a hillside looking at nothing. Greg says she didn't see him as he hid behind a tree. Apparently he'd seen her before in these woods, but it had been weeks since his last sighting. After she left the hillside and drifted off into the forest, Greg darted home, fearing the whole while that she'd pop out and confront him. He asks the Twitter sphere if she's a witch. If not, what are these strange ritualistic displays? He also claims the video is proof that his imagination hadn't run wild. At this point, I just want answers, and I feel like I'm getting close to getting them, Greg writes. I'm just scared of what they might be. We're all pretty scared, Greg. We all are. Published by Mindzoga in April of 2013, the uploader writes, while riding in huge forest, accidentally found a secret base. It is completely deserted in one of the spookiest places I have ever been. The uploader was biking across a dirt road through Lithuania when he came across this base. The video shows derelict buildings on either side of the road, having long been abandoned. It's hard to tell who or what the buildings once housed, but there's plenty of them. Soon the bikers entered a more wooded area, where he decides to go off-road with his bike. He comes across a triangular building built into the ground. There's also a deep hole in the concrete, and a concrete slab set to the side with something, possibly a pipe entering the hole. The biker approaches the dark triangular building. Inside there's only rubble and darkness. He strolls around the area and notes that one of the tree-like hidden underground ventilation chimneys lay on the ground. After driving a bit further, he comes across another of these triangular buildings. Upon closer inspection, the inside of the building is filled with small rooms. In the distance, he hears something that sounds like a bang, which adds to the creepy ambiance of these remains of a facility. He comes across yet another triangular building, where he notices a large ring on the ground, which he believes to be an underground silo cover. This place may have once been the headquarters of a Russian facility, but now it's nothing more than a ghost town of deserted buildings. Which do you think is more eerie? Do you think you could stick it out in an abandoned former asylum, and what if you were being watched when you got there? Published to YouTube by This Is Dan Bell in September of 2015. This Place of Nightmares is a hauntingly beautiful house of horrors. The stone building is hidden in an overgrown woods, and naturally, Dan enters the basement first, wallpaper chipping from the wall. As he explores, Dan explains that he kept hearing noises throughout his exploration, which sounded like a person. He thinks the former patient returned to this building and was living there. Well, as a viewer, you're likely distracted by all the intricate details of this building, including its decorative tiles and molding. its stained glass sunroof and one stairwell, its fireplaces and chandeliers. You might miss this figure in the doorway. Dan himself only noticed when safely back home, watching the video back. The point in question occurs at around 7 minutes 5 seconds when he's turning a corner around a stairwell. There's an open door in a hallway beyond with light shining against the door, and a shadow is plainly visible. It moves as Dan turns to head up the stairs. Plenty of other strange things occurred during this visit, including Dan's battery popping and what looked like red stains found on the tile floor in an upstairs room. That's probably the point where you should get the heck out of an abandoned building. I'm just glad Dan and his team made it out. This giant snake is so long that it takes a full 20 seconds to record its full length. And when the camera person finally reaches the other end of the snake, they suddenly become prey. The reptile is already facing them and looks to have been waiting for them for the whole time. The camera person only has a few scant moments to let out a startled yelp before the reptile lunges straight at their face. Check out its color and markings and leave a comment saying what kind of snake you think this is. I'm hoping we can figure out what part of the world this took place in, and if the snake was venomous, in which case I doubt this person survived. A YouTuber named Ghost Robo is taking some questions from fans. They talk about everything from going back to school to Transformers, and then they take a quick break to make some minor adjustments.
Let's see.
The room cools off and the conversation picks up until a real-life jump scare leaves them wide-mouthed and pale.
Why not like watch the show or anything? But they're pretty cool.
Jake has a transform. That's amazing.
The lightning sounds so close that I seriously wonder if it struck the side of their house. Either way, it takes the three of them over 30 seconds to compose themselves and carry on. These Russian nightclub partiers look normal enough, but check out what happens to some of their eyes during a power outage.
Guys, check it out. Look at that.
Almost everyone else's eyes are not visible except for a select few. Even if these were contact lenses or something like that, there's absolutely no light to reflect. Until you can give me a scientific explanation as to why someone's eyes would glow in the dark with the lights out, I would have to say this video is definitely not normal, to say the least. A video of a human torso walking upright is probably one of the scariest home CCTV moments I've ever seen caught on tape. The main reason it looks so terrifying is because this is mostly a marionette puppet instead of CGI, which requires more work but looks more realistic. Somebody is most likely pulling its strings from above to make it walk, or at least I hope so. Officially shuttered since 1987, it was just announced in February that this century-old building will soon be demolished. Posted to the Ghosts subreddit by Ryan McCullister and originally published to a YouTube channel of the same name, this paranormal team is making one last visit to the old Three Rivers Hospital in Michigan. As they make their way through a doorway, a creepy baby voice is heard in the background.
Hey, blue cheese. Yeah, now.
Look at that smiley face down there.
That's creepy.
To make it, there you go.
Hey, look at all how dirty the hair is down there.
Many in the comments think it's not a baby but a cat. Others think it sounds like the lens focusing. But several Redditors agree that it sounds like a baby. Sparkling Duckling writes, those smiling graffiti faces. Artists tried to stop the ghost baby from crying. Unsuccessfully. I think the biggest question now is what's going to happen to all these spirits after this building is demolished. This short clip captured an eerie figure in an office building at night, published by Emily Durkin in January of 2019. The lights are on in the second floor of this office building, and they're just bright enough to reveal this creepy silhouette. While the YouTuber thinks it's a ghost, the phantom is certainly a small one then. It does look like the silhouette of a human figure, but it stands very still and doesn't move from the frame of the window pane. Do you think this is a ghost? If not, what else might it be? And what the heck are they doing in this office building at night? This one left me with more questions than answers. Do you hear that? Published by Indra Saputra Official in April of 2022, someone is singing in this abandoned building. As Indra flashes his flashlight in the room, speaking to the voice, the sing-song continues for a moment, but then all is quiet.
Ini aku, tuh. Setelah aku gak bisa bro. Aku gak main di center. Nah, katanya lama.
But then, when Indra tries to open the door, he can't get out. His camera light goes out and then starts flashing. As he turns around in the empty room, it's no longer empty. The light goes off again, and Indra is singing in the dark by himself for a time. The ghost girl is gone. What frights does this place hold? A demon sing-along doesn't sound like a good idea. A YouTuber named Alyssa Cross is driving down a local road somewhere in the south when she comes across a person who she has never seen before acting quite strangely by the side of the road.
Let's try goggles. Listen to.
You can hear the nervousness in Alyssa's voice as she and her friend agree that it looks like this person could have some sort of strange virus. Zombie or not, one can only wonder how many other viral outbreaks began in this exact same casual style of conversation. It appears that if that's not the case, then this person is under the influence of something strong. Alyssa quietly drives past and leaves the stranger behind. This CCTV video comes from somewhere in China. A person off camera shines a flashlight all around a building entrance, obviously searching for something of interest. When they stop a short while later, this creature makes a rather daring escape. Slow down the video and you can see what many are describing as some sort of dragon. This doesn't seem very likely and is probably CGI, but if this is a real spirit, then I guess it could take whatever form it wanted, including that of a dragon. When you hear some unusual noise in your everyday life, do you ever stop to think, what in the world was that? Redditor Shadow Husky 1 did when he heard this strange sound coming from his parents' closet. Husky writes, just moved in, house built in the late 50s. When the boy walks into his parents' bedroom, you can see his reflection in the floor-length mirror. Somebody's here, he says. As some note in the comments, at the 90-second mark, a strange shadow crosses the camera. Actually, it looks more like a blur or a smudge than a shadow. He asks the thing to please make a noise, and unfortunately it responds.
Please make a noise.
Excuse me.
As the boy is backing away from the door, you can hear what sounds like clothes hangers clang together. He then enters an adjacent bathroom connected to the closet. As he tries to flick the light a dozen times, a woman's voice can be heard for a moment. Who is it? What do they want? Is there a spirit haunting this closet? If so, what happened here? Shadow Husky doesn't stay long enough to find out. Can't blame him. This video comes from a YouTuber named Mike Robbins and his team of paranormal investigators. They are using a modified Kinect camera and special software to hunt ghosts while wandering around the basement of an old abandoned asylum when suddenly their equipment detects a major hit.
Can you come back and talk to us? Oh, there he is. Hi, buddy.
Mike asks the ghost for its name, how long it's lived here, if it likes living here, and other questions, but gets no response. The spirit does not seem to want to cooperate.
Oh, now he's waving. Thank you. Or maybe he's telling us to go. I don't know.
It's hard to tell if the ghost is waving at them or shooing them away. If this is an insane asylum, then maybe this ghost just wants to be left alone. Then again, there's no real way to verify if the equipment really does work, so we'll never know for sure. Ever caught something in a video that freaks you out beyond measure? Joey Shade did in 2018. Shade writes, I put my phone down on record to see what had been taking things out of my garage. I noticed a second video I did not record that showed something move the phone closer to the door, but saw what looks like a hand of some sort. Shide begs viewers to tell him what this freaky fingered creature is. It's hard to tell, but whatever that thing is, I think it's time to move. Whatever the case may be, that hand certainly looks menacing to say the least. Posted to the Chills Narrator subreddit, the Redditor writes that this is the most terrified he's ever been. The scary footage shows an attic of an abandoned house under night vision. At the beginning of the clip, Connor hears a strange noise. He looks around a little and, from upstairs, captures something in the window on the ground floor. It's glowing. He decides to go investigate. Down at the window in question, there's absolutely nothing there. Nobody, no light. Next, he uses a spirit box to speak with whomever is in the home. Someone asks him to help and let him out. Another voice says to please leave. Admitting this gave him chills. Connor says this is probably the last time he'll return here. As he's walking into an adjacent room, a board is flung at him. He stops in his tracks and turns around to look around him. Nothing is there. In the comments, Connor explains, it was a rock or a brick that barely missed. It flew past the right side of my head. That's why I'm never going back there, because I feel like I could have passed away. No kidding, there's something evil in this house, and it wants you to leave. You'd best listen. A YouTube channel called The Proper People Vlogs is documenting their urban exploration trip to check out an abandoned power plant. This is the exact moment they knew they were in trouble. Tell me what you would have done in this situation. Run or stay.
There's a person. There's a person. Should we talk to them? Should we talk?
I probably would stay because running would only get you in more trouble. Anyway, at first it looks like they are trying to walk away, so I guess they were kind of panicking. But then they turn back around to have their translator talk it out rather than escape. As it turns out, this is security and they are not happy at all. Try and translate if you can, because they are about to get in so much trouble that their translator just says they should leave.
Does not seem good.
Based on what I've seen, it's a good thing that they get out of here fast, because I doubt the authorities in this country would have taken kindly to tourist trespassers. Nevertheless, I'm glad they got out of there safe. DJ Ashba has a YouTube channel full of videos regarding his music career, but one in particular is way different. This CCTV video captures some unexplainable activity in his private backyard. It all starts when a small white blip appears out of nowhere and flashes all the way across the patio. I want to add that this camera does not skip frames, and that the light actually was moving this way in real time. Approximately 10 seconds later, the door opens completely by itself. The door was not slightly open before, and it looks like a calm day with no wind. Coincidentally, the door that opens is also the same door that the white light appeared in moments prior. DJ Ashba checked the security camera after coming home to see his door open, and this video leaves him with no easy answers. The best explanation I have after reviewing the evidence is that this was in fact paranormal, especially considering his other videos are not like this at all. What do you think? A mysterious robed figure, an abandoned home. This clip has me on edge. Published by Kisa Weba in April of 2022, and originally published by YouTuber Hisham Al-Daimak. This video is trending in the Spanish-speaking YouTube community. The footage shows a group of paranormal investigators exploring an abandoned home. As they look toward one room, one of the crew starts shouting. The cameraman turns around and finds this behind him.
Bismillah. Atla.
The robed figure walks slowly away from them, not responding to their repeated calls. It's unclear if this is a paranormal figure who appeared there, a jinn perhaps, or if it's one of their own crew fallen under a trance. Is this a possession or an apparition? Tell me what you think in the comments. An infrared camera was directed toward a stairway in a haunted home. This is what it captured. Published by Electrica Man in October of 2006, the cameraman casts the shot toward the top of the stairs, appealing to the ghost to talk to them. While the spirit doesn't make a peep, you can see a child-sized apparition move out of view at the top of the stairs.
Okay, everybody.
Hold still for a second.
You have to look closely as the semi-transparent figure vanishes quietly from the landing into the adjacent hallway. Is this ghost camera shy? Chris Halton of Haunted Earth TV shares in the comments, as an investigator, I have noticed a connection between IR light and spirits. They do react against the infrared light. He adds that this footage is the most compelling he's seen. What do you think? It seems to me that some very mysterious stuff is going on in this home. An ownerless shadow is in this alley. Moments later, a motorbike moves all by itself for almost 10 seconds before dropping hard. This incident is being mislabeled as a paranormal video as far as I'm concerned. Here's why. A strong wind blows through this drafty alley, so maybe a gust of wind popped up the kickstand and sent the bike in motion. Likewise, the shadow could be a result of this thing flapping overhead. Overall, I'm 50-50 on the legitimacy of this creepy moment, so help me decide if this bizarre street cam video is really paranormal. A YouTuber named Musafir Vlogs is biking through India late at night when something causes his bike to stop working. They later claimed during this part to have felt a spirit close by, and upon starting their bike heard a voice. I'm not sure if I hear it or not, but since this video has a lot of likes and so many people who claim to hear it, maybe I'm just not listening correctly. I think I might hear a gulping noise at 7 minutes and 18 seconds. Almost like someone taking their final breaths underwater. Tell me what you hear. This video will have you questioning how safe your food is if you live with roommates. Basically, a woman in South Carolina was caught on hidden camera, opening up the fridge and spraying select items with window cleaner. At first it looks like she might simply be cleaning a dirty spot on the shelf, but when she takes a container out that still has food in it, gives a few good sprays, and then puts it back, it becomes clear that she is tampering with food. Since there is a hidden camera in the first place, I'm guessing she has been doing this for a long time, or at least long enough to make her roommate suspicious. She even almost notices the camera at approximately 1 minute into the video, but seems to shrug off the sensation of being watched. When faced with the evidence, she was put in a first offenders program and faced no time. Do you think this is fair based on the video, or should she have gotten a harsher punishment? A YouTuber named Angelo Black gathers some friends and together they head to a local tunnel that's rumored to get more terrifying and dangerous the farther down you go. They begin their journey with the goal of going deeper than anyone has dared to before. Laughing and joking at first, but soon growing more serious as they huddle close, banding together against a gnawing claustrophobic dread that nobody wants to be the first to acknowledge. Eventually, they find a lonely portion of pipe that is next to no graffiti and bravely keep going. After traveling a great distance, they're now staring down an even narrower passageway that feels wrong enough to make all of them stop. One of them asks who's there, and this wild growl comes from the darkness within.
Who's there?
Before they even have time to react, the camera person thinks a face is looking at them, which I don't see, but I do hear this faint moan shortly afterwards. It's definitely coming from up ahead.
Wait.
What do you see?
Wait.
What do you see?
The moan soon changes into the same growl again, even louder this time, that I think might actually be a rusty old drain pipe letting loose. Still, I wouldn't take any chances by sticking around, especially not after I heard this. Their phone mysteriously stops recording at this point, and they get out of there fast. But whether it stopped recording because of a low battery, or because of paranormal interference has never been verified. Crazy George's Bridge is the name of a legendarily haunted location in Tennessee. This bridge overlooks the very same tracks that a man named George once wandered onto and met a terrible fate. Now George's angry ghost chases away anyone who says his name 3 times. Strange magic rituals are also said to be practiced out in the woods to honor his name, and so paranormal activity has become a regular occurrence over the years. Tonight a brave YouTuber named Mads Entertainment is ready to settle the legend of Crazy George once and for all, and so he goes on a paranormal exploration of the bridge at night from the top to bottom.
Crazy George. Crazy George. Crazy George.
The sound of an approaching engine turns out to be nothing more than oncoming traffic. They refuse to give up the ghost hunt and try to address the paranormal directly by speaking into the night sky.
If anyone's here, you can come speak into my camera.
They are positive that these sound like the noises of a little ghost girl screaming in the woods, possibly a manifestation of black magic rituals in the past. I'm not so sure because I think it could be an animal. Here's the sound again. Let me know what you think this scary voice in the darkness belongs to. A ghost hunting group called No Fear Paranormal lives up to their name while exploring a haunted cemetery with a K2 meter, a spirit box, and some recording equipment. The name of the haunted place they're exploring is the Tonopah Cemetery in Nevada. They ask it a question, but apparently whatever is nearby has only one topic on its mind.
Can you tell us how many of us are out here? How many people are in the cemetery?
A scary voice of a man comes through their paranormal equipment and calmly responds with 2 words, a demon. I'm not sure if this is a real ghost EVP or not, but the way it immediately tells them that a demon is nearby is frightening to say the least, and possibly more than a creepy coincidence. If you suffer from arachnophobia, you definitely would want to keep your lights on for this one. What at first looks like your ordinary everyday bramble of twigs amidst some rocks is not what it seems. With a stick, Connor Long, the video's creator, disturbs the nest, the many legs of which start to move. Published in July of 2011, Long came upon this daddy longlegs nest near Santa Barbara in Los Padres National Forest. Long notes that research into this clustering behavior came up short, as it isn't understood why they do this, whether it's for mating or moisture conservation during the hot summer months or some other reason. Whatever the basis for this behavior, one thing's for sure, don't step on this bramble, or you may just pass away of fear. This not-so-smart intruder's attempted entering was thwarted by a much smarter doorbell. When this stranger attempted to break into this home in Sydney Hills District, where a woman and her child were alone inside, the man is captured on several security cameras, staking out the premises, ringing the doorbell and waiting, before peering into the windows and trying the door handle several times.
Hello? Hello? Hi, are you...
Wrong house, hello. Yeah, no, it's wrong house, sorry.
When the homeowner finally responds to the man's attempted break-in via the Ring doorbell, the homeowner's voice obviously scares the man, who quickly rushes off apologizing and claiming he had the wrong house. There's nothing better than outsmarting an intruder. Hopefully he didn't try again later. A woman by the name of Cecilia Carasso in Chile strode past the reception desk at a law office in 2015 when she was attacked by something invisible. As you watch the CCTV video, Cecilia is strolling with a young woman towards the reception desk when she reportedly felt something push her with such force that it caused her to fall backwards hard. You can see Cecilia chatting with the woman and gesturing at something when suddenly, out of nowhere, she falls flat on her back. She doesn't just slip, she absolutely appears as though she was pushed. I wasn't aware of anyone in front of me as I passed the reception desk talking to a girl, and as I looked up towards the receptionist, I suddenly felt 2 pairs of hands shove me over, Cecilia said. She later added, I hit the floor, and when I looked up, I couldn't see anybody, and I thought they must have run off. When Cecilia asked the receptionist who had pushed her, she was told that nobody had. Cecilia didn't believe the receptionist until she was shown footage of the incident. After seeing it, she was sure that she had been the victim of a ghost attack, since there was absolutely nobody around her. Cecilia's doctors reported that her injuries were consistent with a fall, but that she'd also received a large blow to the head, which may have caused confusion about what she felt and about her injuries, but that doesn't explain what happened in this creepy CCTV footage. A YouTuber named Jem Parks lost his grandmother over 10 years ago, but her spirit still appears to linger in her old empty property, which his family has maintained ever since her passing. Jem Parks timidly enters the house and crosses the living room, walking by her wooden rocking chair. Doors keep slamming shut wherever he goes. It's almost as if his grandmother wants her privacy, or maybe she is trying to keep him away from something she doesn't want him to see. Then, as Jem Parks turns a corner, he records this. A pale figure peers at him from the darkened doorway on the right. Here it is again if you missed it. The obvious explanation is special effects, but the answer no one, not even Jem Parks, wants to accept is that this could be the twisted incarnation of his grandmother. For years, this man experienced paranormal activity in his home, including books and Xbox games thrown on the floor and lights turned on. After setting up a camera, he finally captured footage of the poltergeist, published by Seth Lee Thompson in July of 2010. This is just a small taste of what Seth has been dealing with. A second clip shows the stairwell at night. The last clip shows the ghost playing with the lights. According to Seth, the light switch you see to the right is the only one connected to the corresponding light. It flicks on and off several times. Is this hallway haunted? If it is, don't be scared. As YouTuber Dark Pisces reminds us in the comments, just because spirits move things does not make them automatically evil. This one might be harder to hear, but it's worth it. While investigating, YouTuber's Ghost Dimension heard something strange at Newtown Park Hospital in Liverpool, England. Listen closely.
That's how I can understand it. It said something. Oh my god, actually.
Oh my god, like tongues.
Yeah, that's poltergeist.
Is it?
Foreign bill. And I proud.
First, they hear voices in a foreign tongue, and as they listen, they hear a snap. A little later, they hear more unexplained sounds.
Yeah. I heard that. Yes. I heard that.
Please. I'm getting a bad feeling.
Oh, no, please don't.
No, I don't.
To me, it sounds like distant footsteps and voices. And then, immediately after Neil asks if anyone is there, you can hear a subtle humming.
Should we go upstairs? Do we go down? Because that woman's downstairs. I'm going to meet Dad.
And as they're about to head downstairs, they hear an undeniable racket from the basement.
I just got a feeling that there's more than one.
When the sound gets louder, they hightail it upstairs.
That's not good. Should we call him Yang? What?
They'll stay with me. Stay up. Nero, there's something behind us.
There was definitely something in that haunted hospital with them. I'm not sure if it was paranormal or perhaps another group of investigators, but hearing it without seeing anything put me on edge. In 2010, a mysterious creature sighting was caught on a GoPro camera in Ontario at Algonquin Park. A large shadowy figure unsuccessfully attempts to conceal itself amongst the scenery, too tall to be a shrub and too wide to be a human. There's always the possibility that this is a mannequin and that the video is fake, but if not, then what could this strange roadside creature sighting along the woods possibly be? Things are about to get creepy on this CCTV video taken from a restaurant somewhere in China. A man looks in the cooler and decides to help himself to something else. A while later, he takes a seat near a woman who's looking the other way. 26 seconds is when he looks over and then he goes for it, taking something in her jacket, probably a purse, and walking straight out the door. He's fumbling around for quite some time and likely has to undo a button or two to abscond with her belongings. If only she had turned around the other way, he would have been caught in person and not just on camera. For those of you who think this isn't a scary video, try getting stranded in another country with no passport, money, credit cards, or phone. That's a situation only for the brave if I've ever heard one. Paranormal investigators, specialists, and other field researchers have been trying to explain the Hessdalen lights in Norway for decades. These mysterious lights have been observed by residents since the early 80s. Though sightings have decreased in recent years, these lights still randomly appear from time to time and have attracted many followers. As you can see here, they look like small balls of light in broad daylight with no discernible source. Scientists think that this could be from sulfuric gas bubbles mixing with humid air, though they have not been able to prove this. Other researchers believe this could be a UFO hotspot or even a portal to another world. This video shows a phenomenon known as angel hair, in which strands of silk-like threads fall to the ground for several hours at a time. Scientists have tried to explain this as certain species of spiders migrating, though I don't see any spiders in this video at all. Stranger still, angel hair has been reported falling in areas that are freezing and have snow. If this really is due to spiders, then shouldn't there be activity in colder areas? This man claims he can make a wooden matchstick pass through a silver watch using nothing but sheer will. He focuses deeply for a moment and then proves it can be done.
For solid through solid. Thus.
I'm almost positive that this is sleight of hand, but I'm not sure. I don't see cuts in editing, and it really does look like it was done in one smooth take. If someone can please tell me how he does this, real or not, I would greatly appreciate the help. A Twitch streamer named Jake is visiting another country and enjoying the downtown nightlife. It's getting really late and he's about to turn in when two girls he's never seen before walk up with huge smiles and start dancing with him. They're acting like they've known Jake for a long time, while this guy in gray lurks in the background. Jake doesn't mind the attention at first, but he grows progressively more confused until one of them speaks in English, so as not to alert the man nearby.
Listen, behind you, there's a man.
I saw it.
She needs to help us, okay?
You can see he's staring really hard at the women with a serious expression. He's also standing way too close and looks to be within grabbing distance. When he looks over at them again, they try to play it cool by jumping up and down in fake excitement and acting like they don't even notice him. In reality, they are literally too scared to make eye contact with him, and they're turning to Jake for help.
Yeah, he's still staring at us. He's still staring at us. Okay, hold on.
Wait, do you know that guy? Get that guy on camera.
Jake hangs around for another few minutes until the man wanders off. The girls hug each other out of relief and quickly dart the other way. I really hope this man had second thoughts about whatever he was going to do, but something tells me he wandered off to find an easier target. This kind of video really shouldn't exist anywhere in this day and age, but sadly people like this creeper are still out doing weirdly bizarre things like this. Kudos to Jake for stepping in and putting a stop to it here. A YouTube channel called Finsk-Cam is simply a collection of videos from a person's drive to and from work. One upload has thousands more views than any other because of how creepy it is, and also because it's difficult to come up with a satisfying way to explain it. So Finsk is driving to work when someone forces him to the other lane. As he's getting closer, he discovers it's an older woman standing in his lane. She remains suspended in this position and does not so much as turn her head to acknowledge him. In fact, we never see her face at all. Does she even have one? Light snow covers the cars, but does not cover her, so she could have not been standing here for long. Still, it is very cold out, and yet not once do I see any indication of her breath. Is she alive? A ghost? Finsk slows down, and I want to say he helps her, but the video ends before we get a chance to really see. This was made in 2017, and no update has been provided, so I guess what happened next will have to stay a mystery. These two videos were taken the same day in Zurich, the largest city in Switzerland. They show a mysterious light repeatedly glowing in a cloud above. The light turns on and shuts off over and over again. The light is seen again from another angle. This time it spreads across in multiple segments, and it appears to be pulsing differently. I tend to agree that they're concert lights, but if I didn't know any better, I think the Swiss are about to be abducted. Credited to Instagram account it's SoSoG. These strange lights have me questioning everything. The dull lights move sporadically across the sky, darting all over with no rhyme or reason. They then disappear altogether in the clouds. Being that this was filmed in Calgary, I think these might be spotlights from the Calgary Stampede, an annual rodeo that takes place in July. Then again, maybe it's what Instagrammer Christian Mukele suggests in the comments, saying our alien masters are about to reveal themselves. Okay then, we're waiting. YouTuber Gregor Wilk braves one of the most haunted places in Wisconsin in this spooky video. One of the most interesting finds he has there is this strange orb flickering in the darkness. Watch closely. In another shot, he captures a ghostly apparition. Watch to the left amongst the trees. Here's a closer look. Some in the comments say they've had a similar experience at Sanitarium Hill. Well, from this distance, I'd say you can't really tell if this is a ghost or not. This was filmed at around 2 a.m., so the idea that someone was out walking in the darkness of night is pretty creepy in and of itself. Something is very wrong with this mannequin, and you'll never guess what it is. It looks completely normal here, but things are about to take a turn for the creepy. The mannequin moves all by itself, and even seems to track some shoppers as they walk by. It's a creepy scenario, but I think this is probably planned and not paranormal. In my opinion, this almost has to be a clever advertising technique and not the work of a shopping mall ghost, as the title of the video says. This store probably set up animatronic mannequins to get people's attention and hopefully draw them into the store. It might work on some, but I think it also freaks a lot of them out. I know if I saw this, I would choose someplace else where the mannequins stay in place like they're supposed to. So they might want to rethink this marketing strategy. A YouTuber named Phoebe Mayhew made a scary face swap video from 2016 that's still an unsolved mystery to this day. And I'm hoping this is the year we can find an answer. So Phoebe makes a joke about having no friends to face swap with, when this invisible presence takes her up on her generous offer to change faces.
Hello? Anyone want?
The eerie apparition is apparently above her, and she switches places with something peering in from the highest point of the door. So the only thing in the corner that possibly looks like a face would be the overhead lighting. But when Phoebe tries to recreate the situation, nothing happens.
But it's definitely not the light it was doing it to. Because the light's over there and it's not doing it now.
Like I said, I don't see anything else in that doorway that could have set off the face swap. Do you? It makes me wonder if something tall and creepy was watching her and then vanished. Are apps the best method by which to gauge the paranormal around us? Published by QTube in August of 2021. These guys are freaking out after seeing something sitting in a chair in their home via an app filter. They note that another chair nearby looks completely normal, but when scanning the chair next to it with the filter, it's red hot with energy.
This chair isn't.
Look, this one's fine, but you can go on this chair. Someone is sitting on this chair, guys.
They're sure that someone is sitting in this chair. Is technology finally allowing us to engage with the invisible energies around us, or is the filter just glitching? I think they should try using a thermal camera in this room. It might just reveal more than what we saw here. What would you do if a poltergeist became more and more aggressive? Published by D-Dog Michael in January of 2022. This scary video follows this paranormal explorer through an abandoned building. Michael first encounters some unsettling sounds like bottles trembling. He thinks it's just the wind at first, but the sound becomes louder and more aggressive. This makes him run back downstairs. As they continue to explore, a window panel slides open, and later he hears regular banging noises in the hallway. When he goes to investigate, the banging noises get louder and more frequent. As he approaches a door, he asks the spirit if he can go in and look around, but the spirit seems to answer in the negative.
잠깐만 들어가도 될까요? 사람.
He runs off but returns to the same door, and as he's reaching toward the knob, he hears something inside.
잠깐만.
Finally, inside the room, there doesn't appear to be anyone around, but he hears another sound. Out in the hallway again, he reaches for a second door, and a loud noise is heard behind him. Later, he is in a dark bathroom when chaos again breaks out behind him.
잠깐만요.
He continues into a bedroom, and then he sees this shape in the window.
안으로 들어가 보시.
Michael decides it's time to leave this place before whatever haunts it won't let him go. Are there ghosts all around us? That's what Tesla's tracker technology has me thinking. Posted to TikTok by Piero1519. This Tesla owner entered a cemetery where his vehicle's technology detected life or non-life nearby. A figure can be seen appearing digitally on the car's screen, clearly ahead and to the far right of the car.
And look at this. And nobody's there. The cemetery. Wow. Wow.
So I need it shows it like a
Flashing his camera to the location indicated, Piero shows that there's no one there at all. All that's there are a couple of gravestones and an otherwise empty graveyard. Some in the comments are saying that the Tesla assumes the tombstone is a person, since it doesn't have a tombstone detection feature. But wouldn't the Tesla then detect people in anything human-shaped that its technology hasn't been taught to identify? That would just be weird. TikToker Namaste says, ghost detection is an added feature of Tesla, but Leah Jordan takes a turn writing, it's all fun and games till it gets in the car with you. Let's hope that ghostly terror remained in its eternal bed. The historical Winchester Mystery House was basically built to be a nightmare. The Queen Anne-style Victorian mansion in San Jose, California, was the personal residence of heiress Sarah Winchester, who started building it in 1886 and didn't stop until her passing in 1922. Not having a master plan, the enormous mansion features such oddities as secret passageways, staircases to nowhere, and hidden rooms. The home is said to be haunted. Posted to the r/ghosts subreddit by Resident Science 525. This scary video may have captured one of them. The footage shows a short staircase leading up to an exit in the Winchester Mystery House. As the camera pans for a moment, a semi-transparent figure moves past the staircase. The Redditor writes that there are no windows or air vents in the hallway, and no reflective surfaces. So what is this? Or should we say who? If you were awoken by vibrations, what would you think was happening? Published by YB Normal in January of 2012, a hotel guest awoke to something reverberating throughout his room in Beijing and reported hearing spine-chilling sounds. Grabbing hold of his camera, he went to the window where he spotted 3 unidentified flying objects in the sky. The dark saucers can be seen in a triangular formation in the distance, while in the background you can hear the disturbing noise that must have woken him. It's one deep, long, vibrating note, like the sound of something hovering. The camera zooms in on the saucers before the video turns off unexpectedly. The uploader says the camera stopped functioning for no reason. Are these extraterrestrials simply observing us Earthlings? Or are they trying to scare us with sleep deprivation? Under the ancient city of Taif, Saudi Arabia, is a scary haunted cave tunnel that you don't ever want to go exploring by yourself. Famous ghost hunter Abdullah Al-Anbari has made a career out of fearlessly exploring such haunted places, but the question remains, will this haunted place scare him? So far, he's kept his cool among some scary things. Exploring the tunnel some more reveals that it's been walled off, and yet, just when the ghost hunter decides to turn around and go back, something paranormal beckons him to stay. The cave is suddenly filled with scary noises and a strange mist that wasn't there moments before. He waits for some more activity and finds nothing. Apparently, he is braver than the ghosts once more and leaves victorious. This video could be paranormal unless they somehow figured out a way to get on the other side of that wall to make the noises themselves, though I don't happen to see one. Horrifying surveillance camera footage shows someone getting chased by a much bigger, much scarier person who slings them over their shoulder and drops them into a getaway vehicle. Police are calling this a suspicious incident because it looks more like it could be their last moments on Earth. They are in total fear for their life, so I don't think this is a family dispute. It's something way scarier than that. Two friends struggle to push a boulder off a cliff when a third stands at the bottom to make sure the action is caught on video. I think they were expecting it to drop straight down or something like that, but they are about to learn that gravity works in mysterious ways. It looks like he's about to get it big time, but at 22 seconds the rock bounces at an angle that's barely to the right of where he's standing. There isn't enough time for him to react, and the fact that he's still alive afterwards is little more than random physics and sheer luck. A family is crossing the border from Texas into Mexico when this SUV gets on their tail and shines a light at them in a ploy to pull them over that they didn't fall for. The family knows this vehicle belongs to a group of outlaws who collect money from any American tourist unlucky enough to cross their path, so they speed back to the border with the SUV close behind. They make it back to safety, but somewhere along the way, they have this strange encounter that everyone was too distraught to notice at the time. Maybe the grainy dashcam video is to blame, but as one commenter points out, it almost looks like this dog literally teleports into the shot at 29 seconds. At 27 seconds, you can see both streets are empty, except for a man and his bike, and then 2 seconds later this dog appears out of nowhere, and doesn't come into focus until it's halfway across the street. I guess it could have emerged from the street corner, which was hidden by the truck in front, but however you want to look at it, you may never expect for a car chase in Mexico to end with a possibly teleporting dog. The uploader of this video says that this sighting happened on the Barbados Islands sometime in 2017. A huge humanoid is stomping off in the horizon, its footsteps echoing throughout the tropical night scenery.
They met. I don't know. Yeah, and then lost it.
The creature appears to have 4 long limbs and a gigantic bushy upper body that is completely covered in some kind of fur or else some kind of plant growth, possibly leaves or mold. It lets out a huge bellowing roar as it makes its way across the island. In the unlikely case this is not CGI, then what you are witnessing is definitely a modern day giant or some sort, though its true origins may never be fully understood. Grim Experience is a YouTuber who has been experiencing paranormal activity at not 1, but 2 separate homes.
Okay, you know how her house is haunted. We explored the basement the other day. Clearly haunted.
It really is.
I ain't ever going over there again.
There's so many stories, like I could write a book.
His wife was using the Ouija board, and now they think something followed them out of her basement and into their home. They decide to go ghost hunting at 3 a.m. in a room full of collectible dolls. What they've caught on tape is beyond creepy, but is it paranormal? Let's take a look.
And they said, give us a sign. And then all of a sudden,
Alright, do we have to talk about
the flowers started rising up out of the...
He is in the middle of telling us what happened in the basement when he is interrupted by an avalanche of dolls caught on video falling over. He's so into his story that he runs forward seconds before the dolls fall, so perhaps his pounding footsteps are to blame. Except look again. At 1 minute and 50 seconds, Grim sees a demonic ghost face grinning back at him. The ghost must have attached itself to one of the dolls, and when the dolls moved, it was because the ghost was feeding off his wife's fear.
Well, I found or saw a mysterious creature around 4 in the morning.
A YouTuber named Bishop has caught a creature on doorbell cam that he can't explain. The video looks like a bug, except Bishop says that the motion sensor absolutely will not turn on for insects of any kind. There are wings, but he says they could possibly belong to some kind of humanoid creature. Whatever it is, it does something really weird next after it lands under the bench. It just kind of, well, disappears. It doesn't fly away and it doesn't crawl under the bench. It just vanishes. Something that an ordinary insect wouldn't do. It could be time-lapse editing because the ground gets darker when it disappears, signifying that some time has passed. I'm almost positive that this one isn't real, but let me know what you think. This house is empty and yet heavy breathing is heard over your shoulder. What would you do? YouTuber Centuria Mosses shares this creepy video of what she believes is an evil demon in her haunted house. To me, that sounds more like a rasp than heavy breathing. The clip ends abruptly, but whatever briefly appears in the upper hall is the most terrifying part of this video to me. Watch closely. What in the world was that? Coupled with the rasping noise, I think that lightning flash was the demon itself. If you ever get lost in your own little world while driving, you may be missing out. Fear is right outside your window. YouTuber Nabs Maya captured this unusual figure on camera, and they are disturbed by it. Watch closely.
Because no guys are coming down the fire. Right, so at the beginning of the show, the 10 o'clock on the dot this morning, and we have got one new entry on the code top 40. You've obviously then got one faller. We'll get to that a little bit later. But that new entry...
What they're looking at is that bright pale figure in the middle of the field. It appears to be standing idle. Though the camera is shaky, the figure doesn't move. You can even see a bird fly past it, undisturbed. What is this thing? It's difficult to tell from such a distance. I think it could be anything. A person, a scarecrow, even a ghost. But these guys are gonna have to get closer to test out my theories. If you've ever wanted to visit Hogwarts, here's your chance.
My first time seeing it too. I made sure, like, I'd seen a few pictures online, but like barely any because I didn't want to see it. This is...
YouTuber Abandoned World Explorer explores what he calls an abandoned Hogwarts hidden in the woods. Once inside, they find the place incredibly intact.
It's incredible that a lot of the books are still here. Everything is still here, but just been packed away. And maybe explorers have got stuff out again and put it back out. I'm not sure.
Some of the furniture is a bit out of place.
So I don't know why furniture's been chopped all like this. Up into the tower. I'm going to come down the tower afterwards.
He finds a marble fireplace with incredible finishing.
Just everything, the way everything's gilded and like, it's like brass finish on a marble leg. And the candlestick kind of light shade they've made, and it does look like a candle.
Up the stairway, he finds a second piano and some unfortunate graffiti.
So if I remember rightly, at the top of the stairs there used to be a piano. And it still is there. This is what I don't like, and I think this is what the locals are getting sick of. The wrong kind of explorers coming and ruining these places.
Although the explorers don't capture any paranormal activity, this abandoned place does have a special energy.
The way you used to hide things as well, Josh. Like plugs on the floor.
Floors. I'm just showing up this real quick.
Oh, it's beautiful, a lot of the furniture.
How long?
Just the detail, yeah.
To me, it's sad that such a magnificent place would be abandoned. I hope that someone takes the time to preserve and restore it, at least for history's sake. Who just let themselves in? Shared by YouTuber Paranormal Road Trip, this mysterious footage of the National Museum of Funeral History in Houston, Texas, appears to show paranormal activity. Watch the doors to the left.
She sets it on. And it opens again. Nobody else is here. Oh, yeah. Oh, damn. Yeah.
The doors at the far end appear to open on their own. No one steps out, though. It happens again while a group of people are standing at the end of the hallway.
And that door is the latch door.
Somebody have to turn the knob for that door to open.
Yeah.
Or push it from the inside.
Push it.
So it's not just air pressure from opening the front. You actually got to push it.
Push it.
They recreate the incident on the other side of the door in order to see if the air pressure from the outer door causes it to open.
Doors didn't even budge.
Not even.
They didn't even budge. They're too heavy to do that.
So what happened here? Is there still some potential for air pressure? I think there could be. What if there were windows open in the room at the time that may have provided the right circumstances for the door to pop open? Let me know what you think in the comments. When one door opens, it probably means a ghost is in the building. Redditor Newski Got Distrapped shares this video, which was captured at their work at 5 a.m. The Redditor says that the place is about 75 years old. People have passed away in it, and strange things have occurred to them inside. Feelings that they're being watched and unexplained pennies turning up everywhere. The bar was empty at the time. Watch the bottom right.
We're all fine. We get up.
There's a glass door you see opening. They also believe that this object you see flying out of there is an orb. Although I wouldn't put too much stock into orbs as they're more often than not dust or insects, the door opening and shelf shattering does seem mysterious to me. Can you think of any logical explanation? While entering a deep dark cave, these brave souls nearly left their skeletons behind. Good gravy, what is that? You can see the creature momentarily as they enter. But for some reason, this encounter doesn't send them running for the hills. And then, not long after, this happens. That hissing is somehow more terrifying than a deafening roar. And the figure's features are equally horrifying. The fact that they didn't leave on the first sighting of the creature makes me think this is fake, but as we only caught a glimpse on camera, maybe they just didn't see him in the darkness. If it is acted, then it's an incredible fake. This Redditor and their sister have experienced some paranormal happenings in their home. This is the first activity they've ever caught on video. Keep an eye on the drawer in the corner. The drawer slowly but surely opens, leaving the pair to wonder what this ghost is looking for. Redditors have some ideas. A number of Redditors suggest that it could be opening due to subtle vibration, or the cabinet not being installed level leading to imbalance. Unless there's further evidence of paranormal activity, I think this may be the case in this instance, but if I'm being honest, I'd rather it be a ghost looking for a potato peeler. TikToker Google the Curious is wondering what they found at these precise coordinates. The camera zooms in upon a snowscape in Antarctica. As it zeroes in, you can see multiple buildings, some equidistant from each other. They kind of look like stitches in the earth from so far away. What are these mysterious buildings? My first guess would be research stations, but why so many? And why arranged in this strange pattern? TikTokers have other ideas. I'm going to stick with research stations on this one, but they definitely look creepy from this vantage point. Seen at a distance, TikToker JenUs58 is wondering, what is that? Let's take a look. The figure appears to be running in the beginning and then, mysteriously, stands frozen still. When the driver flashes its lights, the figure starts running again. He gets closer and finds that the figure appears headless. It then disappears into the darkness. But when he returns to his car, he turns to find the ghost has reappeared. So was it a ghost or something else? Well, I'm pondering that question. Most in the comments are wondering why the guy even got out of his car. Have you ever gotten physically ill from watching paranormal footage? Redditor Minimum Session 4039 has, and this is the piece that made them sick.
Been doing this all morning and I don't have time for this today. Stop. Hey, buddy. I got too much going on. You gotta cut it out. Oh, okay.
After setting the camera down, the activity only gets creepier.
I understand. You gotta go, or you guys are serious, or something. Wherever you need to go, you gotta go. Calm down.
You can see a distinct shadow figure standing halfway down the stairs. This is clearly the culprit who's opening and shutting the door.
He's okay. Please, it's not today. Just, holy cow.
There is definitely a ghost that likes mischief. I don't think this is at the level of burn the house down yet, but I would be keeping an eye on this playful phantom. The Bel Air house in Ohio is said to be haunted by aggressive apparitions. Will YouTuber Sunny Deeds and his crew meet with one of them? The group conduct a seance in the haunted Bel Air house, and the spirits are ready to communicate with movement.
What? Her phone just moved.
My phone just legitimately...
I think someone's camera got that. Hopefully.
So that's what that noise was?
Her phone just moved. I watched it.
Shit.
I can't see it. My camera's dead in front of me. Yeah, it moved.
Then the spirits turn out the light.
What the
What?
The f***ing candle just went out.
Which one?
This one right here. Slow, you can see that's your phone in there. It's smoke. It's out. It went out. What does that mean? Blood.
Well, when I asked
yeah, why? What's that mean?
But what does it mean? Was this spirit warning the group that it might attack? Because that's what happens next. The spirit targets the psychic, Kristen. It seems to me the group did meet with one of those aggressive spirits after all. It's probably a dangerous idea to call them up via seance in the first place. Does Redditor Shy Lanshina's cat have a ghostly nighttime friend? Security camera footage captured this mysterious figure in the upper left corner of the camera. My first thought is a spider leg or something on the lens, but the Redditor says they immediately checked and there were no bugs in sight. What do you make of this? Is the cat cursed, as some are suggesting in the comments? If it's not a bug, I have no clue what it could be. Submitted to the Chills Narrator subreddit. While ghost hunting in Fort Langley, BC, Redditor official ECYT captured some creepy EVPs, but it was only when editing the footage that he discovered loads of other paranormal activity. First, introductions. Somehow the ghosts know the crew by name.
So? Your name. It literally just said your name just now.
Wow.
Are you trying to talk to Gabriel? It said your name. That, out of all the names?
That's pretty specific.
Gabriel doesn't seem too impressed, honestly. I'd be freaking out in this situation, especially after seeing this.
You see that?
I saw something in that window just now.
In my opinion, the figure that appears to peek out from the side could just be the outline of another arching window on the opposite wall. The camera shifts, which could elicit the peeking motion, but the atmosphere remains creepy.
Heard that?
I heard that.
We just walked by there was like nothing over there.
Did you see it? If they really did see a shadow person, maybe I was wrong about that church figure. Maybe it followed them. This poltergeist activity is insane, perhaps literally. Captured at a haunted asylum, TikToker Louis D Vlog shares this video of a poltergeist encounter. It starts with a scare.
How cold is this thing? Yeah, what was that?
And the fear grows with this EVP.
Throw that chair. No. Is there a chair? Bring in a chair there, bro. Hey, the EVP says, throw that chair.
A second EVP makes things far spookier.
Oh my, no. Something specific. Right now.
Yeah.
Someone's significant.
Are children causing mayhem here? They seem to respond to the team's demands.
Hey, do it. Slam the door right now.
I'm not sure if children's spirits would be this angry, but whether young or old, the aggression is clear. Are the Owen Nagat Caves the most haunted place on Earth? YouTube team Dark Arts TV is determined to find out in this chilling video. They arrive at the mysterious mouth of the cave. Do they dare enter? Perhaps they shouldn't have. While inside, they hear a mysterious whistle.
Oh my, did you just hear that? The whistle even.
Using a spirit box, they're delivered this creepy message.
Killed by her. Killed by her.
Frightened.
They then hear another whistle.
Did you just hear that?
Oh,
Did you just hear that?
They capture a recording that puts them on edge.
Get out, kill him.
No, I'm hearing get and then get out.
What?
Yeah.
It sounds like get out.
There's the camera.
I hear what Carl heard on that one. They then discover these random trinkets shoved in a hidey hole.
Worst items, are they?
We don't know, do we? It just seems a bit random to shove in there as well. Why is that there?
I wonder whether the offerings.
and they find these random markings on the wall, followed by a moan.
Whoa, did you hear that?
Hear that moan?
Yeah, the moan. We can hear you.
Using headphones and a version of the Estes method, Sarah gets really freaked out by what she hears. I think they should beware.
The first actual like voice that came through. First I had scary, but it was like weird. But that was like the clearest gutter, like it was like a man's voice going, beware. Like that, it's like beware.
It's interesting because I'm pretty much taunting it now.
Each message they receive from the Beyonds gets creepier by the minute. Mornhill Camp served as a transit point for troops on the Western Front during World War I. The YouTube team Ghost Theory investigates this haunted officer's house. A Steadicam that they set up in one of the rooms starts to move. You can also hear strange, unexplained noises in the background.
This guy's a totally. You open this door. This is.
Then later they capture a man's scream.
There's clicking.
One viewer also points out this strange mist or dust that seems to shift across the room.
We have so many questions. And we've heard you before, so we know that you're here and you can do this.
Is the officer lurking about? I believe that's his scream, and I don't know if I want to know what caused it. What terrible creature lies in this empty field? YouTube channel Wokaya Raz High Official may have the answer. Captured in the darkness of night, this creepy creature looks like a thing of nightmares. Seeing it from a distance, it could be anything, even just a black garbage bag, but as they approach, they find that was wishful thinking. The thing is moving. As they wonder what this creature could be, it gets too close for comfort. I guess we'll never know for sure what that was. So do you agree with the title of the video saying that it's a black snake devil? While camping in a haunted forest at night, YouTuber Jasko experiences a paranormal microaggression. Just watch.
Can you come closer to us and like let us know?
Oh, what the f? Dude, what the f? What the just happened?
Whatever is in that dark forest, listen to Jasko's request, and then some.
Like, let us know. Like, let us know.
That looked really legit to me, especially due to the fact that he's holding his cell phone, which could have been water damaged. Who would risk it? Not many people can say they've been roughed up by a demon, but I think Jasko can. There's spirits abound in this sea of lost souls. YouTuber Franco TV investigates cemeteries around the world, and in this one, he captures clear footage of a spirit.
It's still no sight.
This is one of the most convincing full-bodied apparitions I've ever seen. Here's a closer look.
It's still no sight. What was that?
And that's not the only creepy thing Franco encounters in this cemetery. What is this hooded figure doing here? And are the two captures related? My theory is that this hooded man is a cult member, drawing up the spirits from their graves. What do you think is happening here? This scary video is, for sure, causing panic among viewers. While walking in a residential area around midnight, Redditor 07 Sunny 10 hears this mysterious sound.
What kind of sound is that? So weird. And it's rhythmic. अलग-अलग direction से नहीं आ रही है.
He says it sounds like those extraterrestrial tripods from the movie War of the Worlds.
क्या करें चलें यार?
आपकी बातें कोई डरावना बन
है यार डरावना.
The Redditor wonders what could be making this noise. Redditors in the comments have their theories.
What could be making such noise? What the fuck? कहाँ चले?
Is it a sky trumpet, steel pipe on concrete, or something extraterrestrial? To me, the soundscape seems to come straight from outer space. YouTuber Franco from Franco TV has moved on from cemeteries to explore a haunted castle in this scary video, and it's straight away giving me the chills.
Listen.
You could hear bats.
Out in a courtyard, he starts hearing a distant sound, like a sing-song voice.
What is that? I hear music.
It goes on and on.
What is that? Alright, I think I just myself.
Still, he continues his search, and as he does, his paranoia heightens.
Holy. I got it from behind me.
Back outside, his camera captures a dark figure amongst the bushes.
Look at that. Look at that. Wait a minute. Hold on. What's that?
But the figure disappears. What is this creature? Does it belong to this haunted castle? I feel like there's a dark mystery buried in this castle's history, and without digging into the past, we will never know what we're dealing with here. If you tick off a poltergeist, be ready for retaliation. YouTuber Andrew Duffy shares this scary footage of his experience dealing with a resident poltergeist named John. First, he hears something laughing.
Swear to just heard something. Sounded like a laugh or something like that. That was weird.
Did you hear it too? Andrew starts provoking the poltergeist.
Come on, John. Make something happen now if you're here.
And right away, he receives a response.
I know it's you, John.
Whoa. What the hell?
He opens the door to find no one there, but one thing is out of place.
Show yourself. We know you're more than capable.
Right, that freaking door's been opened.
More sound is heard from the laundry room.
Let's go and see what's happening in here.
I'm not looking forward to it, but it's got to be done. Let's do it.
Show yourself, John. Don't be a coward.
Then, as he's heading downstairs, Poltergeist John throws the boot at him.
That's just hit me in the f***ing head, you
Downstairs, John shows he means business.
Whoa!
Whoa! Whoa! Holy...
And he won't stand for being called names.
A coward! Whoa! Whoa! Whoa! What the f was that? Whoa! What the f? Holy f! A knife just...
I feel that Andrew is playing with fire. He should lay off John before someone gets hurt, because since John is already passed on, that someone will be Andrew. After the alarm went off at their cafe, Redditor ODHB went to check the CCTV footage. This is what they found. A dark figure moves into the corner and shortly after races across the room. The figure doesn't seem tall. Compare it to the table nearby. It looks like it's crawling on all fours. Some in the comments think it's a cat or a dog. They even say they see 4 legs. But the figure seen briefly at the beginning of the video looks much taller. Could it be an animal climbing in from the window, jumping down, and then scurrying past? That would be my logical explanation. But even if it's not, I think we can rule out a bug on this one. This house has the hand of the devil on it. YouTube team HD Adam investigates the creepy place, and hopefully they won't be touched by it. As they search the empty place, loud bangs and creepy whispers are heard. I don't think that voice was the cameraman, and as they continue through the home, that becomes more apparent.
Allah! Tut. Abi bak buraya ne zaman girsek bu kapıyı üstümüze kapamayın. Tut. Tövbe estağfurullah.
Upstairs, things start to get creepier.
Ne oluyor lan? Bak. Bunu bebeği. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim.
With sounds coming from all around you, they grow nervous.
İfrit! Allah! Arkana bak. Allah! Bismillahirrahmanirrahim.
There's something inside this thing.
Allah! Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Allah!
And I wouldn't want it to get out, but maybe it's gotten out already.
Allah! Allah! Euzubillahimineşşeytanirracim. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Lan baksana oraya. Abi sen ne kilitleniyorsun oğlum?
That was a hand waving from the beyond. Is it the hand of the devil? These guys think so, and it's not going to let them leave.
Abi gidiyorum peşimden gel. Koş. Var mı bir şey? Abi bir şey yok. Tuvalete de bakıyorum.
Would you expect mercy at the hands of the devil?
Abi. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Bismillah. Şurayı aç.
Me neither. That's why I'd get out while I still can, if that's even an option at this point. While on a Randonautica adventure, YouTuber Exploring with Angelo and his team encounter a dangerous cult in the middle of the snowy woods. Will they be able to make it out? Let's find out. Angelo first senses that someone is watching them.
I think I saw something move down there. Hello? Yeah. Wait, I just heard something growl.
As they continue finding clues, viewers notice a small speck of light in the distance behind Brad.
So you just keep your cassette player on you? I mean, it makes sense because you continually keep finding these.
Did you see it too? Well, that may be a stretch. This next part isn't.
Bro. Dude. Holy
They need to go faster. Just when you think they got away from him.
Get the back! Stay the away from us!
We need to get out of here. Let's go.
I think this experience would put me off of Randonautica for a while, or for life. Who knows what these madmen want. Whatever it is, I want no part of it. The team from YouTube channel Proving Demons is proving it again by meeting the devil himself in this scary video. While in this haunted prison, they are given a demonic message that sounds more like nagging.
Ginger, that said, I'm capable of harming you, the devil is inside. That's serious.
Later, they hear some noises in the dark hallways.
What's that horrible noise? That's me, sorry. Sounds like machinery going off.
As they're listening intently to the screechy sounds they're hearing in the distance, a door opens much closer to home.
Yo, that door just opened. That door just opened. That door just opened.
Really?
Yeah. It was closed 2 seconds ago. And it just opened.
They again hear a distant scream.
What the What was that? You just hear the screaming? The guy yelling?
Although I didn't hear it myself, the next bit is plain as day.
Can you open that window again?
I literally answer.
Suck. Oh my.
It was like that bit came right to me. And that does actually last this time.
Yeah. Look, oh my. Close it. There is no wind in here at all.
They continue to explore and hear a door slam, but unfortunately didn't have their cameras on to catch it. But then...
That was another door and I wasn't even filming. Please. Slam another door for us. It came from over here. That. Holy...
The doors and windows are opening and shutting everywhere in this prison. My theory is that the souls of former prisoners are trying to escape, but it looks like their life sentences are continuing into the afterlife. You're really testing fate if you visit Skinwalker Mountain, especially in the middle of a blizzard. YouTuber CJ Faison and his team weren't prepared for the blizzard or for being watched. They start with a spirit box session in which they're given a warning.
Stop going. Stop going.
They're coming.
They're coming.
There's a distant sound, but I'm not sure if it's environmental or paranormal. But after a while, the pair hears footsteps. I don't hear them, maybe due to the wind, but the noise scares the guys enough to relocate the truck. As the blizzard kicks off, they're not safe from nature, or from whatever's stalking them.
What the was that? Wait, listen.
Some in the comments are seeing a figure between the bushes at this point. I see it too, but is it a trick of the eyes due to the snow? Maybe. Or maybe these guys are near enough to the skinwalkers that they can reach out and touch them. YouTuber Eder Hernandez and his crew are about to enter the Devil's Cave, and what they will witness here may change them forever. The guys seem rattled as they approach the cave, and you'll see they have reason to be.
¿Oíste? Güey, al fue adentro. ¿Podemos? Verga, mi gente. No mames, soy yo aquí en corto. Si fue ahí, si fue adentro, fue adentro. Oh, chingas a tu madre, güey. O sea, a la verga, vete a la verga. Es pendejo, callito, pendejo.
Let's take another look at what they saw. It looks like a faceless being. As they rush away through the jungle, they catch another creature in their purview.
No mames, bueno, ¿dónde vas? ¿Qué pedo? No mames. No mames, güey. ¡Tu madre, güey! Acá estoy mamado, güey. Espérate, tú.
Did you see that? Here it is again, slowly this time. There is definitely a figure standing there, but is it the devil? A third capture seems to blur the lines even more. What are these figures? I'm not sure if they're demons, skinwalkers, or the devil himself, but whatever they are, I know I don't want to get a closer look. Humans may be scary, but humanoids are a level up, neither fully human nor fully creature. These beings come in all shapes, sizes, and forms. Jay from YouTube channel, The Journey is the Destination, encounters one while exploring the insanely haunted Hog Island in this scary video. Even in the daylight, this place is creepy. Using a spirit box, Jay picks up some communications. YouTuber Zoe Felix hears, "Don't lie to me," and I gotta say, I hear that too. Later, the spirits offer up more warnings.
Don't worry.
I'm worried now, especially when he gets this series of messages. Jay returns later at night, and he is greeted warmly but uncannily. That's when he sees something in the trees.
What is that? What the freak did I just see? It almost looked like some weird human thing standing there, and it moved as soon as... Oh my god.
Though he didn't capture it on film, Jay says he saw a pale 5-foot-tall figure with no hair and black eyes. He later comes across this creepy altar.
Altar thing set here or something, I don't know.
Some in the comments think that what Jay saw in the trees were elementals.
Something is... What is that? What the freak did I just see?
Is that what he saw? I think this could be spot on. I wish the entity had been caught on camera. Then again, I don't want that replaying in my dreams. This now abandoned estate is a remnant of the Russian Empire, and it's believed to be haunted. YouTuber Dmitry Blackdad attempts to spend the night here. Will he make it out alive?
Все очень плохо по ощущениям. Потому что я чувствую, что у меня очень сердце болит. Без всяких приколов.
He feels sick already upon entering. It seems that something evil lies within.
Без всяких шуток, ребят. Без всякого преувеличения. У меня сейчас Мандраж идет.
His fear escalates from there.
Что за звук сейчас был?
Although Dimitri doesn't see anything jump scary, you can feel his fear within you as he walks this historic estate.
Не обращайте внимания на то, как я дышу. Потому что мне тяжело дышать.
I can barely breathe too. This is one terrifying tour I wouldn't want to take alone in the dark. Some ghosts are so dramatic. YouTube team Project Fear shares this scare at the sanitarium. First, they hear a girl's voice.
Could have came from any single door at any single... That was a girl's high-pitched voice. Hello?
And then this happens.
Holy, that door just shut! That door just shut! That door at the very end of the hall just shut!
He picks up the camera to go and check it out.
Shut! I hope I caught that on camera. No way. No way.
And it's leaving me in utter terror. What would you do if you heard a laugh like the Joker while home alone? Redditor Pocky Shields says he captured this on video right before running to his car.
I don't know what the that noise is, but it keeps happening.
If you didn't hear it now, it happens again at the end of the clip.
Oh, no.
That is the creepiest thing I've ever heard. It almost sounds to me like laughter from a creepy child's toy, but many in the comments think it can be explained.
Oh, no.
Owl or not, I think that laughter is nightmare fuel. People online are wondering if this is a rock band full of zombies. Shared by YouTube channel EXTV, this video is currently trending in the Brazilian YouTube community. Watch her come to life. The act continues for several minutes. She grows more enraged by the music, but then seems to get rather into it. If you're worried about your brains being eaten, never fear. The Walking Dead is not among us, at least not in this case. I tracked down the original source to the Instagram account of horror artist Corey Deanne Cowley. Well, I guess this mystery is solved. That won't help with my nightmares. Although this is a stage performance, I think most of us will admit that real zombies wouldn't be a welcome addition to a heavy metal concert, no matter how emo we are.